Happy Saturday, welcome on in. Let me very quickly run the sub redemption, or it's sub redemption. Let me run the sub alerts, and then I'll very quickly talk about what's going on today, because things are a little bit different today. PJ's on the 95 stream streak, really just nearly at the end. They're really getting there. Hold on one second.
You sleep rather soundly for a subscriber.
Draken, thank you for the 49-month sub on the 49-month streak. That's like middle age for a sub. I would say middle age, because I was about to say, it's like, what's the oldest sub that we have? I want to say the oldest sub we have is still in the 80s or 90s. I don't believe we've crossed 100 months yet. I don't believe so. I don't think I've had the sub button for that long, but we're probably getting close. I'll have to ask Krob, because I think Krob is the highest sub still. And also,
Another seeker of emotes enters my well.
Denise, thank you for the tier 2. Thank you for the 79 months sub. And I know you're one of the founders as well. You were one of the first 25 people to subscribe. I'm at 86 months according to the sub icon, so I still have more than another year before we hit 100 then, which I guess would also make sense. I also need to get more sub badges, because I am kind of at the limit, because my sub badge, hold on, I'm just gonna very quickly post something in chat. Yeah, my sub badge, 86 months, yeah, so that's the highest sub badge that I have so far. My my emote artist is kind of closed on commissions, so as it is, I gotta wait until her commissions open back up. That way I can you know, commission more emotes, more badges, all of that stuff. So we're doing something a little bit different today. For at least the first couple hours of stream today is the beginning of the Skyrim Creation Mod Con. For anyone who's unfamiliar, Creation Mod Con is essentially an online virtual convention showing off upcoming Skyrim mods. It was put together by the Skywind team, the Skyblivion team, and the Beyond Skyrim team. So those are kind of like the main focuses of the event. However, you know, we'll also see a couple other mod projects as well, I believe, during that showcase. The reason that I went live early today is because of the fact that Creation Mod Con starts at 12 p.m. Eastern on the dot. So they start when I would normally go live, and I wanted to have, you know, the starting soon, the intro, the hey, how you doing, before we get into that. So we have 10 minutes until that starts. I already have the stream up and whatnot too. Sorry, 1 second. Kato Genesis, welcome on in. How you doing today, dude? Thank you for the 3-month sub. Thank you for the 2-month streak. Hope you're doing good. Good to see you again, man. To anyone, including Kato, but all you others out there, any and all subs get access to the emotes, the Discord, and of course, ad-free viewing for the duration of their sub. I always recommend any and all those perks, because you're literally paying for them, so I hope you get your money's worth. I'm hoping that you get, like, the most out of it as possible. But Danny, because I know you're here, Danny, how you doing today? I was talking to Simon, to my best man, about the bachelor party and everything, because he's really trying to figure out, like, what exactly I want. And I told him, it's like, I want a nice steak dinner, maybe a nice drink, and I think I also threw in a brewery tour, which I feel like those components alone is like, that leaves so many options. Most of them, most of the groomsmen said they're willing to travel as well. So once again, we do have some options, right, Blue? Right? I don't want to party. I don't want to go crazy. Literally just like a nice chill time. Like, give me a steak, give me maybe like a nice scotch or something, and I'm having a great time. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Yeah, Sarah wants to get fucked up. Sarah's getting like a whole weekend party in Newport. And I'm just like, I want to hang out. I want to have a nice time. But it's also the thing of half of my friends in the groom's party don't drink. So, you know, we'll still have a bev or two, Danny, but it's not going to be like the focus of the event, for sure. But yeah, so Creation ModCon, let me grab the schedule for that real fast because this was really cool. Bethesda actually tweeted about it yesterday, which to me is major. To me, that's really, really great. Also, quick complaint, which should come to no surprise because it has to do with Twitter. I don't want to get verified. Don't put that there. Leave me alone. I'm not paying for Twitter. Shut the fuck up, Elon Musk. Go the fuck away. I'm tired of you. I've been tired of you for a while now. Alright, so this is the schedule for the next 2 days. We are streaming Creation ModCon both today and tomorrow, and we might only stream part of it tomorrow because I want to see what the special presentation is, but I'm probably not going to watch the question and answers. I'm probably not going to watch Beyond Skyrim Together. I would like to catch the Skywind stream at the end, but we'll be watching all of it today, and then we'll be going live with something else afterwards. This is going to be live in about 7 minutes, so we'll be doing that in a second, starting off with Beyond Skyrim Morrowind, a 5-minute look at Ezronit, which I'm not actually familiar with that one myself, Atmora, Cyrodiil, Olenveld, Argonia, Iliac Bay, Rosgria, Skyblivion stream, and a lot of the segments today, a lot of the sessions today are a little on the shorter side. The longest segment we have is the Skyblivion stream at the end, which is an hour, but everything else is like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and so on. So I'm wondering, like what we'll see, if we get any announcements, so on and so forth. But either way, I really love this. For me, it's a lot of fun. Seeing them put together like a mod convention, because for me, that's, you know, that's what I want. Like, I want the press releases from that. So for me, this is my Christmas. For me, this is absolutely replacing E3. Little Spirit Wolf, I was really impressed by the Dragon Age Veilguard trailer. I was incredibly impressed. I am really looking forward to it, and we will absolutely be prioritizing a full playthrough of Veilguard on the channel when it launches on Halloween. I think that's kind of perfect. I think that's kind of great. It's not a spooky game, but I'm fine with it releasing on Halloween. I think that's pretty cool. Honestly, that's pretty great. Now, one of the other major titles that I was really looking forward to for this year has been delayed. I was really looking forward to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That has now been pushed till February of next year. Honestly, I feel like this kind of makes my fall a little better now. It's gonna make things a little less hectic for trying to cover the games that I want to this fall. Because I do want to play Star Wars Outlaws when that comes out at the end of the month. And that gives me, like, you know, until the end of October to play that, finish that, play and finish Fallout London, Fallout 3, all that stuff. And then I can really just focus on Veilguard for the rest of the year, frankly. Veilguard, obviously more ESO, Traveler's Rest, and all that, but not having to juggle as many games the rest of this year is going to be really, really nice. Because the only other game that's coming out this year, aside from Veilguard, that I really, really want to play, is I want to play Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I'm also thinking of waiting before I buy that. Like, I might wait a little bit, I might see what the reaction is, I might see what the response is before I get that. Oh, I already mentioned Outlaws. I already mentioned that. Yeah, we're still doing Outlaws. That comes out at the end of the month. I'm getting that. Looking at the system specs for Outlaws, I'm probably just gonna be getting that on console because they're really putting a lot of emphasis on the upscalers, which I feel like so many studios are going to rely on upscalers as a crutch from now on. Like, I feel like that's just going to be an easy out for a lot of studios from now on. But Outlaws I want to get. Outlaws I'm going to get on console because, once again, I've just kind of learned over the years that PC optimization for Ubisoft games is so hit or miss. Calls is a little bit more, I don't know, I stable, a little bit more optimized by comparison, so yeah. PJs it is, but looking at the specs specifically for Outlaws, it doesn't look great.
My well.
James, thank you for the 55-month sub. How you doing today, dude? Welcome on in. Are you ready for some Creation ModCon? Yeah, they put up the system specs last night, and I wasn't particularly impressed by them. Like, let me see if I can grab it real quick. Okay, so minimum requirements is not terrible. Wait, no, this isn't the graphic that I saw yesterday. Brandy, how you doing today? Okay, here, this is what I was looking for. I need them to give me the bigger version of this, though. One sec. I did also make sure that it was okay for me to stream Creation ModCon, just because I always want to make sure that it's okay with the host for people to co-stream it and stuff like that. Yeah, so minimum is 1080p 30 FPS, low preset 1660 makes sense, i7 8700, yeah, 16 gigabytes, recommended 1080p with upscaler. I don't know, I feel like I don't want an upscaler for 1080p 60 FPS. For 2K, for 4K, I get it. 1080p, like, I don't know, not necessarily my favorite. 3060 not bad, i5 10th gen series not bad, but I also get that with, we're targeting an i5, we're targeting a 3060, so it's not the worst requirements. It's not like a ridiculous requirement, but I don't know. I almost wish they had given us a recommended 1080p 60 FPS without upscaler and told us what the requirements were for that, what the recommended was for that. That's kind of what I would want. It's kind of where I'm leaning in that. Yeah, so I believe they're starting off with some Beyond Skyrim stuff today. I believe that's going to be the beginning of it today. I'm just making sure that everything's set. So we're starting off with Beyond Skyrim, more when they have a few different things today. And we also do have a command so that, you know, you can go to the original stream if you want to watch it there, if you want to watch the original. And they are doing a charity component as well, which I think is really, really cool, which I think is really, really great. So they are supporting Doctors Without Borders. So, you know, great cause, great group of people that are hosting Creation ModCon. So absolutely feel free to head over there, drop a follow.
Bing bong and welcome back to our 4th annual Creation ModCon. We are back for another show to celebrate an exciting year of Skyrim modding. We can't wait to share all of the exciting work and progress of the smorgasbord of projects we have over the next 2 days. And I'm even more excited to welcome back our favourite Aussie augur of alliteration, Scott from Fudge Muppet.
Thanks, Captain Stu. I enjoyed so much of the merriment of modding from last year's show. I thought, why not
drop down
return
the audio
for a
a
bit
little
more
bit.
mirth?
It's a little loud for me.
Cheers, Scott, and we also want to send many loves and hugs to the Hibernian hunk of hilarity, Mickey D, who sadly can't be with us this year, but hopefully will be returning to the fold for next year's ModCon. We miss you, Mickey. See you soon. So, without further ado, Scott, would you mind helping me
Yeah,
have
we
a
do
look
have
at
the
what to
schedule
expect
there
in
as well.
today's show?
It would be my pleasure, Captain Stew.
Thank you, kind sir. So we begin day 1 of Creation ModCon in the jolly old land of Morrowind, as the Beyond Skyrim team gives us a wee update on their progress over the last year. I'll be helping myself to a bottle of Maztay for that one.
And following that is a short
Is it
trip
really
across the
pronounced
sea
Maztay?
and an expedition east to
Ula,
Ezraionet
welcome
for
on
all
in, by
the
the way.
latest news from Black Harbor, as the Ezraionet
Wolf, hope
team
you're
give
doing
us an
good.
update of all their work in the last year after making a very impressive debut at last year's show.
Then it's back
East
in the
to
boat
Israel,
for a chilly
that's
trip north
not
to
right.
the icy forgotten land of Atmora, as the
Oh,
Beyond Skyrim
there
team once again
is-
reveals some of the lost continent's mysteries.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
After
there's a way
that,
to turn
we
off
return to the warm climates of the Heartlands and stay with the Beyond Skyrim project
Closed
as they show
captions
us
at all.
even more of Cyrodiil after a year of exciting progress and reveals.
Then we return north to the forbidden realm of necromantic arts with the oh-so-creepy Olenveld gang.
I
Then
am
we
looking forward
return
to
the Beyond
Olenfeld.
Skyrim team and the marsh-laden realms of Argonia. where we
Argonia is
hope to
really
get
coming
some
along.
scale of their development since our last insight.
Iliac Bay
Then
gets a
we go
little bit of
west
a
to the
longer
tropic
session.
terrains of the Starfall Bay with the Beyond Skyrim folks and their Iliac Bay team. I better grab my sunscreen first.
You won't be needing that sunscreen long, Captain Stew, as we head north to the icy Isle of Roscria for our last dalliance with the Beyond Skyrim team on day 1.
Roscria is
for
one of
what
the
I'm
ones that
sure will
I'm
prove
looking
to
forward
be
to
a
the
spooky
most.
spectacle.
Like, that's
And
one of
finally,
my
for
most
day 1, the
anticipated
Skyblivian
ones.
team take us back to Cyrodiil and the Third Era for what will be the thrilling climax to the first day of Creation ModCon 2024.
Yeah, and
By
Skyblivion gets
Dagoth
the
Thor's
longest
loincloth.
session at an
Looks
hour
like an
long.
exciting start to this year's festivities.
As always, Captain Stew, a startling summary.
Why, thank you, Scott. And with that, let Creation ModCon 2024 commence.
I'm not sure what we'll be streaming after Creation ModCon, but this is only what, like a almost 3 hour, a little bit less than 3 hour session today, so we'll definitely be streaming something afterwards as well. Yeah, Roscria, to me, I think is one of the reasons I'm the most excited for it, is one, Roscria is pretty much new in the sense that we haven't seen it before. And like you, I think that it's pretty far along and most likely to release out of some of the projects that are already out there. There is a little bit of stuttering on their stream, so if it does look like it's stuttering ever so slightly, that's on their end. I do kinda wish they had streamed it at 1080p instead of 1440p, because 1440p, frankly, it's just kind of a waste on Twitch because of the fact that Twitch really doesn't realistically support bit rates that work well for anything above 1080p. Even streaming at 1080p 60 FPS can be a bit of a pain, so I almost wish they had streamed at 1080p instead. It's one thing I would suggest for tomorrow as well, just something that they might want to take into consideration, not just for today, but also just moving forward in general. Atmore I'm looking forward to, because Atmore is going to be more of a survival and choice-based experience. Olenveld, I admittedly haven't followed all that much. I kind of wish they had gotten Lordbound in on this, because Lordbound is now targeting a March 2025 release. And Lordbound is one of the older projects. Lordbound's been around since, God, I want to say like 2013, 2014. It's funny because the subtitles are trying to pick up
Hello, everyone.
the music.
Welcome to Beyond Skyrim Morrowind Showcase for ModCon 2024. Over the past year, our whole team has been hard at work on our pre-release, The New North, and today we'd like to share a few details on exactly what will be included in the mod.
Okay.
Before we begin, a disclaimer.
Oh.
While the majority of the New North's content is largely set in
Yeah,
stone,
I wish they had streamed at
everything you're about
1080p
to see
instead.
is still subject to change, and the stats we disclose here may not line up exactly with the final version
Bless
of the
you.
mod. With that being said, allow us to present the New North in numbers.
Yeah,
Let's
1080p
begin
would
with just how
solve some of
big,
this.
in the physical sense, the New North is. As you probably know by now.
Well, the problem
the New
is
North comprises
because
the
they're
islands to the
not
north of
even
Varda,
affiliates,
stretching all the way back to the
they
Skyrim.
don't have
Water. This gives you about
settings. Like, you
700
can't change the encoding setting, you can't change the 1080p or anything, so it's just a little bit
Counting only
much.
the walkable land, this area would translate to around the size of East March. And
Okay.
this is just the surface. There are also interior cells, dungeons, and quest zones separate from the main playable area.
Yeah, a little Spirit Wolf, because Beyond Skyrim Bruma was
Scattered throughout this landscape,
like 2
you'll find a
gigs,
great
1
number
gig,
of
2
points of
gigs, I want to
interest in
say.
a variety of different styles. Just like in vanilla Skyrim, caves are the most
Knowing how
numerous,
big Fallout
with
London
9
was.
in the New North in total. Ancestral tombs, however, are the most common dungeon type unique to Morrowind, and as such, the New North contains 8.
Ooh,
Closely following this are our Dwemer ruins, with a
8
count
in
of
just
6,
the
as
one
well as 4
zone.
Nordic barrows similar to those present in Skyrim. Finally, we have a number of smaller dungeons, including 4 of our newest set, the Velothi Towers, and 1
Oh, okay.
Kwama
I
Inn.
do like the Velothi Towers.
Not all locations are traditional dungeons, though. Adding to this list, we have many more places that are based in the exterior world. Among those are 7 Reaver settlements, including both small camps and large strongholds,
Okay.
5 shipwrecks, and 3 Daedric ruins, which will not include interiors in the pre-release, though
Oh.
the set will have them eventually. This all adds up to 32 full dungeons, plus 15 exterior locations for a grand total.
That's pretty significant.
47 places to
32
explore
dungeons
in the New
just
North.
in a zone.
Note that
around the
this list
size
does
of
not
East
include minor
March.
points of interest or certain quest-specific locations. We'd like to leave you with some things to discover on your own. And speaking of
But yeah,
things that
let's
are
move. I'm
quest-specific,
scared for how
let's
big
talk about some
a
of the
Skyrim
ways you'll
install's gonna
interact with
get
the
with this
region
stuff.
and the characters who populate it. There are 2 major quest hubs in the New North:
Okay.
Balserma on Bleak Rock Isle, and Dagon Fell in Sheer.
Oh, I forgot about Bleak
Across
Rock.
those
I didn't
two
realize they were
towers,
adding
as
Bleak
well
Rock
as
with
Dogwood
this.
Wilderness, you'll find 72
Elise, thank you for the
unique
tier 2.
NPCs,
Thank you for the
played by a spread
40-month
of
sub.
33 voice types, many of whom will grant or be involved heavily in quests. The New North will have a main quest, and though we aren't yet ready to release details about it,
Okay.
spoil anything for you, we can say that it consists of 5 major quests and 2 minor ones, for a total of 7 in the quest chain as a whole. In addition to this, the New North will have 6 full side quests, many of which contain branching options or significant choices.
Alright.
There are also 11 miscellaneous tasks to undertake, and while Skyrim's approach to these minor objectives often amounted to basic fetch quests, we can safely say that all of the ones present in the mod will have a great deal more depth than that.
For how many dungeons
Rounding
there
it
are,
out,
I almost
we
wish
will
there were
have
some more
3
side
rating
quests.
quest types to fill out your journal.
Okay.
Which brings us to a grand total of 27 individual quests in the New North. Of course, no mod of this size would be complete without companions to join you on your travels.
Okay, I
In
honestly
the New
wasn't
North,
expecting
you'll be
followers.
able
I
to
honestly wasn't
unlock
expecting
2 unique
companions.
followers by completing some of the aforementioned quests, though we aren't going to reveal which. And in your travels,
Lord Master,
whether
welcome
that
on
be
in, dude. How you
alone
doing today?
Or with one of these followers, you may come across several of our 14 discrete random encounters,
Ooh.
some of which may occur multiple times, and
I
some that you may
do
only ever see
love
once.
random encounters. Okay.
To cap it all off, the New North wouldn't be complete without a full soundtrack to accompany it. With you on your travels across the Isles will be a whopping 31 exploration tracks, as well as 9 dungeon tracks to
That's
lend an atmospheric touch.
Quite a
When
bit,
facing
yeah.
the many enemies of the New North, you'll have 6 combat tracks to heighten the moment, as well as 9 reserved for bosses and more high-stakes.
It's a lot of music, but they're probably making
And
the
at the other
soundtrack
end of the
for
spectrum, You may find
the
yourself
larger
relaxing
Morrowind
one of our
release in
many
general.
tavern tracks during some downtime in Dagonfell.
Right, Danny? Are there gonna be 7 Wendy's here?
Of course, numbers can only say so much, and we aim for the New North to be much more than simply the sum of all its parts. That said, we hope this breakdown gives you a fair idea of what to expect from the pre-release. Our whole team is working hard towards its completion, and we are as excited to finish it as we're sure you will be to finally play it. Thank
Because
you
this is one
for
of the
all your
projects
patience and support over the years,
where,
and thank you for
like,
joining
2
us
years ago, they said,
for
oh,
ModCon
coming soon.
2024.
I'm always of the mindset of, like, don't say coming soon unless it's, you know for sure it's coming soon. But it is looking really good, like getting to see more of the tile sets, getting to see a little bit more of the dungeons.
Do you wish there was a place that could teach you skills like creation kit implementation, game writing, 3D, or sound design?
That's the thing, Elise. Yeah, they said
University is open
years
for your
ago
creative
coming
journey.
soon,
We're
and
a
it's
public
not
Discord server
out
open
yet.
for anyone to learn. Our teachers come from our partner projects and will train you to reach a level of competency to join one of our teams.
Right,
The road will
soon
not always
is
be easy, but we have a
relative.
complete
It's like when
progression system
Valve
for
says
every
soon
department to
about
help
one of
you
their
master your
games.
craft with special assignments and even a test claim board where you can take a shot at real project claims free.
Once
of
again,
pressure. We
if
also
you want to
have
follow,
live
if you want to
lectures
check out
just
the
about
main
every
thing.
You
month,
must
which are
really
then
like it
uploaded
here.
to our YouTube channel.
And they say,
So, what are you waiting
I'm
for?
mad.
Take the
Zach,
next
thank
step
for the Prime
in
Gaming
your
sub.
journey
Thank
and
you
join our
for the
community today.
28-month sub. There have been rumors about the Oblivion remaster. There's been rumors about it. I was kind of expecting to see it this year.
Bonjour, willkommen, konnichiwa, hola, privyet, and welcome
I
back
had
to you all for yet
anticipated to
another
see it this
Creation
year
ModCon.
at the Bethesda
We
showcase,
are
but
4 years old
no.
now. I mean, Karis, can you believe it?
4 years? I remember when we were just a baby ModCon, all sugar and spice and everything nice. Now we're all grown up.
And talking of spice, our next segment sees us returning to the Spice Isle with the returning Esronia team with yet
So
another look at
that's how
their
you
project
pronounce
after
it,
last year's
Esronia.
exciting first appearance at Creation ModCon. Over to you guys.
Bethesda continues to
First era, the edge of low
support
point,
and promote Skyblivion, though, is the one thing I will say. But unfortunately, Skyblivion will never be on console.
Sadraxi was a mighty fortress. This large foothold on the Ezrionate archipelago, built from igneous stone and carved slate. Though perhaps it wasn't only the strength of its defenses that would seize wonders, but the strength of its protectors. My ancestors remember these protectors as the Seidshi, a serpentine people bound from the east. They arrived to our land in great haste, quickly constructing this fortress as if from thin air.
That's the thing, Professor, because they're doing more of the mainland area, yeah, there's a little bit more crossover with the Nords, and Bleak Rock Isle specifically was
being exploited by
like a
the
Nordic
Seidshi,
island too.
ripped of its natural beauty to fulfill their purposes. Every day, their occupation was met with a further silent chill in the air. Our great archipelago was a puppet to their experiments, which were to create evil creatures as if sent from the deep tides. These abominations were a piece taken from my people, and they could not be allowed to roam my land. Neither could their creators. We as an Ezra
Yeah,
people
there was
had to make a stand
also-
for our land.
There was also the rumor of the Fallout 3 remaster, so that might be the priority first. Yeah.
For about a year, we did the
It's gonna be interesting to see. I would love to see those remasters. I'd love to see like a Fallout 3 remaster, an Oblivion remaster.
beautiful low point Have flew above my people's heads. The sage she stood down with honor. Their experiments were
Like, I would easily play both. I would absolutely get
And for
both.
their lives, they gave us Sadraxi, which in time, with my people's influence, would rebrand to the city of Black Harbor. The fortress provided us with
Morrowind-
everything we needed to make a great city like
To
ours.
make Morrowind accessible to new players now, it would take a lot more work to remaster than Oblivion. Oblivion, I feel like, is at least a bit more accessible.
Our occupiers and cast them from our home.
Yeah, what PJ said, yeah.
As time went on, The towering walls casting an imperious shadow were reused and repurposed.
We do need a Fallout 4 update because they did break some stuff during the next gen update for Fallout 4, and some of that does still need to be fixed. Some of that still needs to be patched and whatnot. 76 has been doing really good though. Like, I've gone back a little bit, and the new quest content they've added has been really good. But I do also want more single player stuff in addition to 76. 76 has been doing well, but I'm still, you know, looking forward to another single player thing.
Years since we cast off one overlord in the Seichi, the Empire arrived to conquer us.
I'm actually quite surprised that they haven't launched creations for Fallout 4, but I also am glad they didn't, given that the next gen patch did break some stuff.
And even won some battles. But then the main force arrived.
Gogus is at a welcome on in.
Ruler himself, Uriah V. Under his iron-fisted command, our brave defenders fell and we were
I will say that this is gonna be me just being very picky. I almost wish we had like an in-game thing to see for this mod.
Despite this new shackle placed around our necks, we still
Like, I wish
feel
this had been an
imperialism, and
in-game
Dark Harbor became a
presentation
home
rather
for
than
commerce.
mostly
The
just
markets grew busier
concept
with
art.
Tamrielic goods, and the harbor grew full of merchant ships. Even if the Imperial Dragon flies on our streets,
You sleep
Black
rather
Hawk is still my
soundly
home.
for a subscriber.
Dellaspell, welcome on and thank you for the 53-month sub on the 53-month streak. We are watching Creation ModCon, which is the community community online virtual convention showing off mod stuff. Brandy, I saw a couple renders for models and textures, which those looked good, but I don't know, the 5-minute showcase mostly of concept art. It's like, okay.
Are you
Alright.
interested in learning to mod? Do you wish there was a place that could teach you skills like creation kit implementation, game writing, 3D?
Yeah, at least it's not pre-rendered footage being passed off as gameplay. That would just be expensive. Making pre-rendered, like, full 3D stuff would be a pain in the ass, I feel.
Train you to reach a level of competency to join one of our teams. The road will not always be easy, but we have a complete progression system for every
Yeah, so we're streaming Creation
department
ModCon. It's gonna be around 3 hours of today, and then after we'll be hopping into something else. So
free of pressure. We also have live lecture which are then uploaded to
I'm not sure what we'll stream after this. Could be Fallout London, could be ES, so hard to say, but we'll figure that out afterwards. Yeah, if you want to get into modding, if you want to learn about modding, check out the Arcane University. It's free classes for people looking to learn from people who very much know what they're doing.
UCM here, and another great show from the Ezraniat team after their debut at last year's Creation ModCon. And it's my great pleasure to introduce another debut. We've added another very talented MC this year, so everybody please welcome Renara Hawk to the team.
Hey everyone!
But Selvis, how are you doing? Welcome on and happy Saturday.
Things for ModCon such as voice acting, appearing on panels, and being a judge for several competitions. It's really...
First era, the edge of low.
Oh.
Hi folks, UCM here, and another great show from the Ezraniat team after their debut at last year's Creation ModCon.
I think someone actually
And
hit back on the video. I think someone accidentally
another debut. Another
hit rewind on the video.
MC this year, so everybody please welcome.
All of
Renara
these are
Hawk
free.
to the
All
team.
of these mods that we're seeing today are completely free. None of these are part of the creation program.
Such as voice acting, appearing on panels, and being a judge for several competitions. It's really cool to be a fully fledged member of the MC team.
And things are about to get cooler, Renara. As our next
There
voyage
are
is the
at
wintry
least
wastes of
a
Atmora, as the
couple.
Beyond Skyrim team show us all some more of Atmora's snowy.
There's a couple
slopes.
programs, or there's a couple projects I know of that are coming to Skyrim's creations somewhat soon.
The skies are obscured
But
by the thin
nothing I
threads
can
of frost,
speak to just yet
frozen
myself.
in the clouds and winds. What once stood tall and proud has collapsed, crumbled, and broken, dark secrets lie within. In the halls of kings and heroes, their warbands drawing aberrant breath. Atmora is a land of mystery and of peril, obscured by thousands of years of history. Perhaps it is time to venture north and to see what awaits.
Well,
In this
Salvis,
video,
with the
wheel
old
shall once again turn before it breaks, and we will offer a thorough
with
peek
the
behind
old
curtains.
Creation Club
We wish to give
program,
insight into our progress
Bethesda
and our
would
current
pay
plans.
mod authors
We
up
understand that Atmora
front
has always been
for
rather
those creations, for the
secretive about
Creation Club
actual
stuff,
content it will introduce
and
to the world of
the
Beyond Skyrim.
authors involved, the people I knew who were
The
involved,
charts and
said that
lists
it
shown in
was
this video may
really
be subject to
significant
change,
money.
as a lot of our development details are rough estimates at this stage.
That it was
The
really
precise
good
amount of
money that they
required
made, that they
assets
were
or
paid for
quests may
those
change
kind of like
considerably as development
contract
progresses.
jobs.
Before we begin, there are some things that we wish to address. Atmora has historically always been one of the smaller teams under the Beyond Skyrim umbrella. Of our active members and developers, many are working on multiple projects. In addition to a change in direction and leadership at the end of 2022, the Atmora of today is indistinguishable from the project known as Atmora Calling. Therefore, a large number of assets and world building that has been done before 2022 had to be reconsidered, as the team felt like it no longer represented the Atmora that is being developed. This was done over the course of 2023, where a general cleanup was being conducted. During 2023, the team looked inwards and made changes not only to our workflows, but also in our approach to development.
The newer
have gotten more
creations, the
We
newer
welcome our developers
iteration
to
of
weigh
paid
in,
mods,
discuss, and give feedback on all the work being
is
produced. Whereas previously, the
it's
departments worked largely
the mod authors, the
independently
creators
run.
getting paid per
This is no
purchase.
longer
They're
the
getting
case.
a cut of
We
each
felt this
purchase,
cleanup
so
was necessary.
it creates
There was
more
little maintenance done
long-term
before.
income. It creates more
Documentation
passive income
spreadsheets were vastly
over time.
outdated. After completing the cleanup earlier this year, we are now able to resume development fully. At the time of writing this script, development focuses on concept
Katie,
art
welcome on in.
writing,
How you doing
as
today?
we feel that it is of utmost importance to get a good feel for what Atmora will look and feel like.
Oh,
With the
yes.
dust of the cleanup now
So,
settled,
Professor
we've been
Armitage,
able to make great
Bard's
progress.
College
We wish
expansion
to show
is
off.
the
The playable space
highest
of Beyond Skyrim,
priced
Expedition
creation
to Atmora, will
out
feature
there
4 main
at
regions.
$10, but it really does
Sundfleet,
feel like a
the
full
Blazing Bay,
DLC. It really feels like a
Forward,
proper
Forest Lord's
DLC
Domain,
level of
Yada Yada,
content.
the
So I think
Plains
it
of
justifies
Beasts,
that price
and
pretty well.
Nordgar, the Tomb of Gods and Kings. The city of Ylgrvik, as well as the expedition camp, are seen as subsections. This video will focus on the recent developments and short-term goals.
The
as
way
well
that
as
I always
showcase
put
our
it is
plans
that
for the
I would be a
regions of
hypocrite
Sundfleet,
if
Ylgrvik,
I didn't think
and
mod authors
Forward.
should be paid for their
With
work,
9 side
literally
quests
given
and
that
6
I
miscellaneous tasks planned,
make money
Sundfleet
off
is
of
the largest
covering
region of
mods
Atmora,
on YouTube.
especially since Ylgrvik and the expedition camp do not count towards this number. All side quests have at least completed the first draft and are currently under review by the writing department. Work on the miscellaneous tasks has, at time of writing, just started. Sundfleet is planned to be the home of 14 dungeons over the course of a whopping 1,783 exterior cells. While this number seems incredibly large, it will
Oh
help
yeah,
us
James,
convey a
easily.
feeling of larger than
King
life.
Geth made the best
Atmora
creations
is
out there
vast,
so far.
full of secrets and riches.
Both
Dangers
Bard
and
and
death
East
lurk
Empire,
around every
frankly.
corner. The size lends itself to exploration.
Rabbit Saucer,
We hope to
welcome
fill
on
it with
in.
many curiosities, often unmarked, for the player to discover.
Of the original
For the
batch of
interior
creations,
cells,
I
we are
did
looking at a
like
current estimate of 41 interior cells
the
for those
gun. I liked
14
the
dungeons.
Arquebus, but
The most prominent feature of
a lot of the
Sundfleet will be
creations
its
have been
closeness
really
to the Sea of Ghosts,
frankly, and
or
I want to
Halva,
see
in the Atmoran
creators
tongue. An ocean
push
cursed with
the
treachery
limit.
and
I
doom,
want creators to
so
look
that
at what
those
King
who
Geth has
drown
done and
are
use
eternally
that
bound to walk on the ocean
as
floor,
inspiration a little
never
bit
knowing
more.
the warmth of the sun or the taste of fresh air ever again. Where shore turns to inland, Sundfleet is overshadowed by Lethjokul, the Laughing Glacier, a large and impassable mass of ice, said to be the frozen corpse of a forgotten god. At time of writing, Sundfleet has been the priority and current focus of our narrative team, and we were able to continue work on the backstory of the many ruins scattered across the coast. Sundfleet's themes and stories, which you may explore in quests or as part of world encounters, center on the fates of the many cults
We
and clans that
never
inhabit
knew
this
how
region.
much authors
We
were
learn
getting
of the
paid
divine
for the old
doings that
Creation
the
Club
Atmorans
stuff.
honored, and what happened when old traditions were broken by the cataclysm
We
of
just know that they were
Ylgrvik's wrath.
paid 3
Next to
times.
Sundfleet lies
So the
sacred
way that it worked,
Ylgrvik,
the way that the old
now
Creation Club
reduced
system
to
worked
ruin.
is that
Entering
a
Ylgrvik
creator
was a
would
death
pitch
sentence for most.
a Creation Club pack to Bethesda. Bethesda would pay them once for the pitch, once it was approved, once when the creation went into beta, and a third and final time when it released. So they weren't making residuals, they weren't getting paid per purchase, they were getting paid upfront. So even if the creation sold terribly, they got paid before that. And once again, talking to a couple people, the people involved in the Creation Club program, they said that they made more from those payments than they ever saw from Patreons, from donation points on the Nexus, from direct donations and all that. It was significantly more than they had ever gotten from the community itself. That was, to my knowledge, there's never been any official information about it because, the creators under the Creation Club program are under NDA not to release those numbers. Doesn't mean it's not possible that someone put it out there, but I've seen a lot of people spread fake information about, numbers from Creation Club, and all that, so just be wary. Unless you can verify that it came from a mod author themselves involved in the program.
Once side quests have been finalized, we hope to populate the region with world encounters and smaller tasks that reach deep into Atmora's roots. Fodalgrim will feature 5 dungeons, including a mega dungeon known as Undirholt, a labyrinth of roots and decay that takes up 6 of the 14 interior cells we have planned for the area. Those that follow Atmora for a longer time may remember Fodalgrim from the Creation ModCon 2021, where we showed off the overworld of this gruesome forest. Among the many environmental assets that need to be created, the many trees of Fodalgrim have been a focus for our concept art.
Ms. Mock, how you doing today?
The swampy area that you may be familiar with will be turned into a truly haunted forest, where one might get lost amidst the many dangers. In addition to the architecture view,
so it sounds like, well, they kind of already said it, but yeah, Atmora had a little bit of an internal reset, so they had a little bit of an internal reboot for development, so...
The trees and bushes we developed for Fodalgrim can also be used for the other regions.
Atmora might also be a little
focus on these assets to make the landscape believable.
Further out from release. It might be a little further back.
With all that being said, we hope to have been able to give you all a better grasp of the scale and size of Atmora. We are not a small project the size of Solstheim. Atmora is vast.
Yeah, that's big.
The main quest, Facing Frozen Skies, we'll see the player exploring and ultimately mastering the secrets of the ancient continent.
Katie, well, that's my main hope as well, that we're talking High Rock and Hammerfell. Yeah, I want a bigger world, I want a significant world space.
If you're interested in aiding us, consider applying under beyondskyrim.org/join, or head to Arcane University to learn more about modding. Thank you all for watching, and we hope that you will continue to enjoy Creation ModCon.
At Atmora, we don't know as much necessarily. We know that the Nords originally come from Atmora.
Are you interested in learning to mod? Do you wish there was a place that
we know that Atmora faced like a cataclysm of sorts.
Sound design. Arcane University is open for your creative journey. We're a public.
Sorry, just my throat's just all of a sudden bothering me.
From our partner projects, and we'll train you to reach a level of confidence.
I didn't mute quite in time for the beginning of that, so I apologize.
But we have a complete.
But Rabbit Saucer, I'm doing good today. I'm doing well today. Hope you're doing good.
Your craft with special assignments and even a test claim board.
Yeah, like when Ysgramor came to Tamriel, came to Skyrim, they were still living in Atmora. Atmora hadn't fallen yet at that time. But there was kind of like the frost that took over Atmora and forced everyone living there to flee, which is how the Nords settled in Skyrim.
Hi everyone, Arcane Impact, back again for another year of Creation ModCon, and those Atmora showcases get spookier every year. I've got a chill running down my spine. How about you, Captain Stu?
Yikes! You're telling me? That show was no joke. My heart is beating so fast, it might jump out my chest and land on the floor.
And from your heart landing on the floor, we head to the Heartlands for more. as we welcome back the Beyond Skyrim team Cyrodiil project. In a year where they have already shown us so much through their regular releases of the Black Horse Courier, we can't wait to see what they will show us next. Enjoy!
Cyrodiil, I'm looking forward to. Cyrodiil was one of the very first Beyond Skyrim teams, and it's taken a while because of how big of a zone Cyrodiil is. But I like the regular updates they give us, and that's one that I really, really hope to play. If anything, I think that is one of the projects that is most likely to release in general. I believe this is all pre-recorded in order to stay on the tight schedule that they have.
Forgives us for our transgressions and bids us to show compassion to our people. But he is also the justice of the divines. He who teaches us to strike out at evil wherever it may take.
Because I think they released this video
As
recently
the god of
on YouTube and everything.
Stendarr helps us to help ourselves.
Oh yeah, because this is about the Vigilant Ascender. The Vigilant Ascender is going to act as a kind of like mini guild of sorts. This is for Cyrodiil.
Often maligned as the apologist of men. But this is his virtue. The Dominion disfavors him because he is the divine who gives us the power to fight back. Why should we be meek? Why should we allow anyone but the divines themselves to command us? They have taken Talos from us. Who is to say they will not take Stendarr
Because
next?
I...
Our Lord bids us to rise, my fellow
I know they've talked a little bit about the progress
Rise
on
and suffer
Cyrodiil
no
in general. I think they're working on the Imperial City right now.
Praise Stendarr!
Don't believe the lies these priests are peddling. I lost my best friend to their brainwashing.
Stendarr saved my life after the war. These priests took us in, a pair of ruined old veterans. And all Actor can do is complain.
A lot of the segments are a lot shorter, so we're going like from mod to mod to mod to mod. But yeah, this is for Cyrodiil.
Perhaps, if you're willing to help me, we could try to sabotage them. Knock them down a peg.
If you wish to join the Vigil, you must prove yourself worthy. We do not accept failure. Stendarr's eyes are upon you.
Yeah, we started with
Do
Morrowind.
his bidding, uphold his virtues, and
Arcane
you will
University
be
seems to kind
rewarded.
of be like the equivalent of
You
an
will
ad
leave
break.
this place in shame.
Esra
Lord
Nonnet was...
welcomes you to
It was
Beyond
mostly
Skyrim Cyrodiil showcase for the
concept
Creation
art.
ModCon 2024. Our focus for today is on the vigilance of Stendarr. This is Penitent's Rock, the main headquarters for the Vigil of Stendarr, and their largest base anywhere in Tamriel.
Well, the
Early
Hall
in
of
the
Vigilant in
design
Skyrim was
process for the
just
city
a
of
house,
Coral,
so doesn't
whose
take
patron
much.
deity is Stendarr. A common topic of discussion was the potential inclusion of a Hall of the Vigilant somewhere near the city. We knew from Skyrim that different chapters of the Vigil have their own halls in various locations across Tamriel, but the details were sparse, so we went about filling in the gaps ourselves. In our lore, the Cyrodiil chapter is the largest and most powerful, so Penitent's Rock needed to reflect that in all aspects of its design. Not only will we see plenty of normal vigilance here, training, studying, and relaxing between missions, but also a new rank of vigilant.
Makes
the
sense.
Lord Keeper. Although the Cyrodiil chapter has its own keeper, who we'll meet in a moment, the Lord Keeper is responsible for communicating with and coordinating all of the Vigil's chapters across Tamriel. Once we had chosen a suitable location for our Vigil Hall, we began to plan our content properly.
Oh,
What kind of content?
the closed
We had the same
captions
question.
didn't think
A
he said a
simple side
hall.
quest,
It thought he said a
neutral
whore,
faction
and
with
that's
some
why it
radiant
bleeped it in
a
the
small
closed
settlement
captions.
with room for multiple types of content. In the end, we felt that joining the
Yeah, Sky Oblivion
was a
has the
fairly important
longest
play of
segment today. It
fantasy
has
for
an
lots of
hour-long
fans,
segment at the
and
end
making
today,
a
so
properly
that I'm
joinable
really looking forward to seeing.
was worth the effort. The Vigil of Stendarr is not a guild questline, but it is a fully fledged miscellaneous faction, similar in aspect to the Bard's College from Skyrim, but much larger in scope.
Well, you say that, but Bard's College expansion exists.
Be prepared. Joining the Vigil won't be as simple as chatting to its leader and swearing an oath. This fact.
Really random, it doesn't have anything to do with anything, but I recently read something about how Mary Curie's cookbooks are so highly irradiated that they had to be locked away. She liked keeping radioactive material around because they glowed like fairy lights. Which was the coolest stuff from the 19th century. Why was the coolest stuff from the 19th century so deadly? There are people who will buy, like, irradiated glass.
Who just can't get enough of the monster hunting, Daedra killing fantasy.
I think it's like plutonium glass or something, where you can buy that for, like, drinkware, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to drink out of that. You couldn't get me to.
The poor in the name of Stendar, the god of charity.
Oh yeah, James, listen, they've never said any of it's canon, and that's fine by me. I don't need it to be. I don't expect it to be. The only stuff that's ever going to be canon is going to be games and official DLCs. And for me, that's perfectly fine. That's what it is, Blue. Thank you.
Rising through the ranks of the Vigil.
That's exactly what it is. Uranium glass.
Turning the Vigil into a joinable faction has allowed us to integrate it more closely.
I was getting my irradiated materials mixed up.
The seat of Sundered Kings. As you journey through
Look at
Cyrodiil,
Radium Girls, oh
you'll
God.
gather many allies and friends, from province-spanning guilds to hermit battle mages and popular newspapers. The Vigil is just one of those many allies who can be recruited to your cause when it becomes time to crown a new emperor. In the seat of Sundered Kings, players play a game of espionage and politics to build up support for their chosen candidate in the race to succeed Titus Mede II.
Oh, that's true.
The Vigilants will be willing to support a candidate who protects the religious interests of the Empire and harkens back to a safer, more glorious era.
I am looking forward to the political component of
on who that might be
Beyond Skyrim Cyrodiil.
But that's not all. Another, far more tangible reward awaits the faithful of Stendar at the end of this journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the frame rate's a little rough at times.
The Hammer of Stendar, the holy weapon of the God of Justice. What will it take to wield such a thing? After all, not just anyone can be worthy of this weapon. As you can see, this hammer is a mighty weapon indeed, capable of striking fear into even the most evil of Stendar's enemies.
It reminds me of
Stendar
something
is
out of
not only
Vigilant.
the god of justice, though. When designing the hammer, we wanted to create a relic that would encompass all of his many facets. As such, the hammer has not one but 3 unique enchantments. Firstly, justice. When you use the weapon to strike an undead, Daedra, were-creature or vampire, your enemy is bathed in Stendar's holy flames. Abominations beware. Then, mercy and compassion. Whenever you pray to Stendar at a way shrine or chapel, you will receive a temporary buff that provides a passive healing aura to your allies and followers.
Okay.
Stendar rewards those who protect others. Finally, charity and well-earned luck. Whenever you donate money to a beggar, you receive another buff that increases your chance to inflict a critical strike.
Ooh.
The player being rewarded for embodying Stendar's
Wasn't expecting
virtue
critical strikes, but
was a
I'll take
common
it.
theme throughout our decision process, and can be seen in the quests as well. In fact, every quest has a major decision point, which requires the player to make a difficult choice under pressure. When you're stuck between 2 bad options, what comes first? Your devotion to the law and loyalty to your order, or holding up the morals of your patron divine?
Probably
your choices
the
will
law
have consequences.
for me.
Only
at
those
least.
who are deemed worthy can wield the Hammer of Stendar. This reward is not guaranteed.
Oh.
You will have to earn it.
Okay.
Alas, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for watching, And if you want to see more from us on the Cyrodiil team, head over to the community
The
Discord,
subtitles are
where we
doing
post
their
regular
best.
updates, including our ongoing implementation of
Closed captions are
quest
doing their
line into the
absolute
mod,
best.
and some showcases of our in-house lore developed for the faction. If you want to help with the development of the project, there's lots of ways to do that too. Of course, being such loyal fans for so many years is already more than we could ask for.
Mux,
But
good
if
morning.
you're
How are you? How was Dead by Daylight
We're
today?
looking to get into the games industry. We're always looking for a wide range of volunteers. We are particularly interested in dungeon designers and 3D artists and animators.
Alright.
But we're also open to applications from writers, editors, QA testers, PR specialists, sound designers, quest implementers, asset implementers, and interior level designers.
They say editor, do they?
To
They
apply
probably
for
don't
any
mean
of these
video editor.
positions, you can head over to beyondskyrim.org/join. If you don't yet have any of these skills, but you still wish to contribute, fear not. We can teach you. Head over to the Arcane
I
Universe,
would legitimately love
a
to
collaboration
help
project
out
between
with some
of the
trailers for some of these
biggest and most
projects.
experienced modding teams.
Either
where you can
trailers or
learn
even
everything you
showcases,
need
like
to
mod
know to start
showcases.
modding Skyrim.
Something cinematics,
Enroll
something
today
fun like
at
that.
beyondskyrim.org/au.
So that's something I need to reach out and
And even
talk
if
to
you
people
can't,
about.
or don't want to get involved, we are, as ever, endlessly thankful for your support. Stendar's blessings to you all, and may you walk always in his light.
Alright, let's get some book writers. Let's write some more, some Lusty Argonian Maid while we're at it. Yeah, I need to reach out to people in general, Gogo says that I definitely need to make more of an effort to try and get a little more involved and see what I can do on my end. Yeah, Beyond Skyrim Cyrodiil is one of the ones that I'm most excited for myself. Cyrodiil and Roscria are like the two big ones for me. And that's partially just because I also think they're the most likely to release soon-ish.
Or sound design. The Arcane
Still a
University
while
is
off. They
open
haven't
for
given a
creative
release period. They
training, where
haven't given
public
any
Discord
release
server
period at
open.
all, so it's gonna be a while.
Our teachers come from our partner
They're kind of going like zone by zone, faction by faction. So they're trying to tackle it like one zone or one quest line at a time, which is probably a good way to do it.
Special assignments, and even a test claim board where you can take a shot at real project claims free of pressure. We also have live lecture events just about every month, which are then
Yeah, there's I think 2 or 3 different projects that Arcane University has put out, like full quests put out by Arcane University, and honestly, they were pretty fun. They were pretty good. So it's not just them learning, it's them putting it into action.
Another incredible showing from the Beyond Skyrim Cyrodiil team as we move past the halfway point of Creation ModCon's first day. How are you enjoying it so far, Captain Stew?
I'm having an absolute molag ball, Scott, and I can't wait to see what we have in store next.
Well, it's another trip north for necromantic nastiness as we navigate the Hyperborean horror of Ollenveld.
Because I remember seeing this one last year. Robinite, doing good today, doing alright. How are you?
I only feared being forgotten, for all my brothers and sisters have fallen, their bodies buried deep in this land.
This is a necromantic themed quest, I
It is
know.
our duty to the Empire to be its sword and shield, to carry it forward for generations to come. And my duty never ends, for now I watch for my fallen brothers and sisters, honoring their memory.
So they just finished showing off Beyond Skyrim Cyrodiil. They showed a little bit of Beyond Skyrim Morrowind at Mora, a couple others as well. A lot of the segments today are a little on the shorter side. A lot of the segments today are like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The longest presentation we have is going to be for Skyblivion, and that's going to be an hour-long presentation today.
Was not long before we
Yeah, once again, I really do wish that they had streamed this at 1080p, because 1440p, 60 FPS on Twitch, the bitrate limitations on Twitch are not ideal for anything more than 1080p. Even 1080p 60 FPS is pushing it. So, the amount of artifacting and pixelization you see, the stuttering you see, a lot of that could be avoided if they streamed it at 1080p instead. Yeah, at Mora they talked about how they had, the team was downscaled, that they had to change some of the focus that they had to redo a lot of assets and kind of refocus the team. So, it's not that it fully restarted, but they did have a little bit of a setback with Atmora specifically.
Thank you for granting me peace, and may the strength of the Empire guide you out of this island.
I'm wondering that too, Draken Yo. Fun fact, this comes from talking to ZeniMax Online. You are not supposed to put anything in the middle of the Ouroboros. That is on their, like, media kit. Or, like, the branding kit or something. It was actually considered incredibly controversial, even within the company, when they put the ESO 10-year celebration inside of the Ouroboros.
Progression system for every
like, it violated the style guide, and there was a whole thing.
And even a test claim board where you can take a shot at real project claims free of pressure. We also have live lecture events just about every month.
But Brandy, I feel like that's one of the pitfalls you run into with Beyond Skyrim, is with it being so many different teams under one umbrella, you're eventually gonna have people who move on to one of the other projects. You're gonna have some projects that are making more progress than the others. But I also get that they don't want to...
Can we move on to the next segment, please, so I can come out from hiding behind the couch?
They don't want to force people to work on a zone that they're not interested in.
Oh, and talking of scales, I think it's about time for a little...
So that's why it's like, oh, you want to work on Blackmar? Sure. You want to work on elsewhere? Sure. They don't want to force people to work on zones that they don't want to.
Hey everyone, and thank you very much for tuning in for Beyond Skyrim Argonia's ModCon showcase for 2024. We hope that you've enjoyed the
1440p 30 or 1440p 60.
Audio lead and one of the writing leads, and I'm very excited
because even on Twitch, like, the highest bitrate you can get as a partner is 8 megabytes? 8 megabytes per second.
We will be using
8 megabytes per second, even for 1080p. 60 FPS is kind of pushing it. It's a little rough.
Of what the finished product will be. A lot of the words spoken by NPCs will be pronounced wrong due to the AI voicing, especially words in Gel, the native Argonian language. The final NPC voicing will be created by talented voice actors in the later stages of development. Now, let's get into the showcase.
I'd rather there just not be a showcase then. I'd rather, or not that I don't want them to be a showcase, it's like, it's in development, I don't need there to be... I don't need you to include the AI voice acting then.
Yginhessa is the first of our implemented villages. Until recently, this tribe had been at war with the Turnians, but now a fragile peace exists. We heard about a craftswoman in Yginhessa who is known for her chitin weaponry. We should stop by and purchase one from her, as it would be useful in our fight against the Kajmasu.
1 sec. I can understand wanting a stand-in, but I also think there's fortunately enough text-to-speech tools. I'd rather use a text-to-speech tool as a placeholder.
Let's speak to him and see what we can learn about
because you can get the rights to that pretty easily.
We're glad to have our roots in its soil again.
Yeah, they're specifically using AI of...
Curious about our humble village. What can this
they're specifically using AI of Skyrim voice actors, I can already tell it, and I'm just like, I know this isn't what you're gonna release to people, but I would rather you just use like a text-to-speech program where it has the permissions. Yeah, even with the stream at like 1%, I can tell it's like one of the original Skyrim voice actors. Yeah.
Our 3D department has been working very hard to
Doesn't have lip sync yet. Yeah.
Since our showcase at last year's ModCon, our 3D team has created approximately 1,500 additional 3D assets.
Yeah, the assets for Argonia, like the assets they've been making, the models and textures have all been great. If anything, they've done a lot of really great work on landscape, on world space design, and the huts look great. The huts look really, really good.
Let's take a look inside.
And it does remind me quite a bit of... It reminds me of ESO, and it also reminds me a little bit of Morrowind. Which...
Our concept artists have also been doing a lot of work.
Like, this is nice. This looks good.
Fleshing out the traditional Argonian villages. This includes various equipment, furniture, and other clutter. Artwork has also been created for weapon sets.
Yeah, I would imagine they did look at ESO for some inspiration for architecture and, homes.
The team takes this concept artwork and creates a 3D asset. We are actually wearing it right now.
I do like the scale armor. I wanted there to be scale mail in Skyrim. Because I loved... I like scale mail in general. I like the look of scale mail in general.
It's time we stopped by the craftswoman and picked up a chitin weapon. A spear is probably best.
Yeah, the houses remind me quite a bit of stuff that we saw in Murkmire, that we saw in the base game for ESO. So the models and the design for it looks really, really good.
Looking for good leathers, tools for weapons, maybe my goods will interest you.
Someone actually posted a mod for Fallout 4 where it's literally just like an AI voiced tool, and Wes Johnson actually spoke to it because he was really unhappy. He was really, really, really unhappy about the fact that there had been a tool that's just using his voice, an AI tool that's literally just like ripping his voice. I replied to the tweet because one of the kind of ironic bits was that the creator of this AI tool was like, oh, once you generate the audio, it's yours to use, but you have to credit me. Like, there's an irony of like, yeah, this is using someone else's voice and likeness, but credit me for making this. Like I said, just little ironic, little... It's not funny, it's not haha funny, but you get the idea.
Maybe he can tell us more about the village's history.
We may have no cities, but Gary and Maxwell can provide all you.
But let me see if I can grab that mod page real quick. Let me see if I can find that real fast.
Lived among the bamboo many generations ago, but were driven away.
Here's the thing, once again, because so ZeniMax Online will use not AI voice acting, but they'll use text to speech for the playtest server. So I understand that using, you know, generated speech can help for testing purposes, but it probably sounds like such a specific line of AI versus text speech. Text speech, you have the permission of the original voice source. That's the difference. Yeah, this is really lagging right now. Like, that's really, really lagging right now.
He always enjoys talking with travelers to our village. You should go see him.
These NPCs of Yigen Hesse represent 12 of over 200 NPCs fully written for Argonia.
Yeah, the author who made that AI tool for Fallout 4 is just blocking people's comments if they say anything negative. So that's kind of annoying.
Let's take a look at a few right now.
Yeah, the 2K was not a great decision, frankly.
Our literature spans various genres, including
2K 60 FPS was not really the best decision for this.
Children's literature, biographies, more than a dozen skill books, and a few more scandalous works.
Yeah. I'm here, this isn't me.
We should also note that the music you've been listening to throughout this showcase is actual game music you will hear while exploring Argonia. The music composers and the whole Argonia team are delighted to be able to finally show off some of the music compositions we plan on featuring in-game.
All the
audio department
new tracks, all of the audio has been really good.
One such aspect is atmosphere sound effects, which are all the background sounds you hear while exploring a region that help bring it to life.
Exactly, and
wind,
Professor,
birds, frogs,
the Windows
insects,
voice, all
as well
those
as
you have the
smaller, more
permission to
infrequent
use
sounds
those
like
for
tree bark groans,
generated
water
voice.
splashes, and wind gusts. The sound designers have also been creating new sound effects for materials such as bamboo, as well as creatures. So far, more than a dozen of Argonia's creatures have unique sound effects, and more still being
One thing
finished
that I
off.
always say is that
Speaking of new
with
creature
Skyrim
sounds,
mods,
I think I hear the Kaj message.
there are so many times where I feel like it's hard to really create new landscapes that look like they fit, that look like they match Skyrim's design. One thing that the Beyond Skyrim teams do really, really well is creating new world spaces, new zones that look like a natural extension of Skyrim's design. Whether it's swamps, or whether it's Cyrodiil, or deserts even, so much of it looks really, really good. And to me, finding that, like, consistency in design is so important. Because I feel like desert, especially, is hard to make it look right and make it look good. In Skyrim, only a few mods have really, really done it well, I feel.
Development has come in the last year, and maybe even inspires you to help us out. Argonia is currently looking for more writers, editors, 3D artists, concept artists, sound designers, and implementers. If you'd like to help us...
Technical difficulties will be back soon. Okay, so... yeah, I believe... well, it's all pre-recorded, but it also seems they do have someone that's on the back end, like, managing stuff and be like, oh shit, we gotta do this. Yeah, I'm wondering if the person streaming it just doesn't have a great... doesn't have great internet? Like, that would be my guess, that would be my kind of, like, best guess. I'm gonna put my own music on while we wait. I'm gonna put my own music on just as we see what's going on. I do like that they had their own technical difficulty screen at the ready. That's good foresight. That's really good planning, I will say. One sec. Last year was a bit like this too. I didn't get to watch last year's live last year. I only watched the upload after the fact. One sec. Oh, here we go. Oh, they're skipping through the video. So, yeah, they're trying to get back to where it started to cut out a little bit more. Oh, here we go, here we go. Here we go.
Thank you very much for watching our showcase. We hope that this glimpse into our development progress has given an insight into how far along our development has come in the last year, and maybe even inspires you to help us out. Argonia is currently looking for more writers, editors, 3D artists, concept artists, sound designers, and implementers. If you'd like to help us bring Argonia to life, we would be happy to consider your application. If you want to start learning how to mod, or even further
I know Skywind is a big segment tomorrow, Draken. Like they're ending the day with an hour of Skywind tomorrow.
Developer for Beyond Skyrim. Thank you again for watching our showcase. and we hope you enjoy the rest of ModCon 2024.
Argonia has been one of the fastest growing projects, and they've made a lot of progress in a short amount of time, because I believe Argonia is one of the newest Beyond Skyrim projects, and they already have so much of the landscape done. They already have all these new models, all these new textures. It looks really good.
Are you interested in learning to mod? Do you wish there was a place that could teach you skills like creation kit implementation, game writing, 3D, or sound design?
Listen, every time they show this, they show a little snippet of, like, sinking an enemy ship. I just want to see that. Like, I want that mod where you're destroying enemy ships. Give me that.
The road will not always be easy, but we have a complete progression system for every department.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome on in.
And even a test claim board where you can take a shot at real project claims free of pressure. We also have live lecture events just about every month, which are then uploaded to our YouTube. Take the next step in your creative journey.
See, there it is. The sinking of the ship. I want to see that release. Okay, so we have
Yet another exciting show.
Iliac Bay, Roskria, and then I believe we have Skyblivion.
How do you think I'm doing, UCM?
Renara, you're doing great. I'm looking forward to your first introduction, too. In fact, I'm barely keeping my excitement at bay.
Well, that figures, as our next destination is a bay, too.
Thank you for the posture check. Yep, I was not posturing very well. One sec, yep. Did audio cut out? Okay, so that'd be on their end, not on mine. Yeah, Iliac Bay is one of the biggest projects because it's going to be... God, it's gonna be High Rock and Hammerfell in one mod, so that's massive, that's huge. They are making a pre-release, they are working on
another exciting showcase, courtesy of the Beyond Skyrim Argonia gang.
They're working on a full
How do you think I'm doing,
mod as well as a pre-release. It's kind of like a demo similar to Beyond Skyrim Bruma.
I'm looking forward to your first introduction too. In fact, I'm barely keeping my excitement at bay.
Well, that figures, as our next destination is a bay too. We once again climb on board the good ship Beyond Skyrim as we make port for the Starfall.
I actually prefer the leveling in Morrowind to Oblivion, weirdly enough. I think the leveling was better in Morrowind compared to Oblivion, frankly. Which I think that was partially just due to the way that they balanced the rest of the world, less than it had to do with the leveling system itself.
2024 has been a banner year for Beyond Skyrim Iliac Bay. We've made many advancements, and moved our build closer to a fully playable, realized experience. We begin in the province of High Rock, which has received a lot of love from level design over this last year, especially in the areas surrounding Snowline and the Inner Reach. Many of the locations here were last seen in the Elder Scrolls Travel
Well now, you must really like it here. And they say, I'm mad.
Locations such as
Josh, welcome on, and thank you for the tier 2, thank you for the 13-month sub. I had thought about leveling up Illusion Magic when I played Skyrim, but I just couldn't see myself doing it.
Which really portrays the dingy vibe we're going for. Lastly, level design has begun on some areas which border the regions of High Rock.
Josh, how's your Saturday going,
Three
dude?
Kingdoms pre-release, which will be visible at a distance. These include the Dragon
Three
Field,
Kingdoms is the pre-release,
and the town of Fairtree. Moving over to the independent province of Hammerfell, much of our writing and implementation team's focus has been on the small islands of Herne and Caspar. We showed off these islands extensively last year.
It feels a lot later in the day for me than 1 p.m., but I've also been up since like 8 this morning, which is early for me.
These small islands have received over a dozen implemented quests, and now boast an extremely playable experience. Every fort, cave, Dwemer ruin, and pirate camp is now fully explorable. Our Yoku ruins are the sole exception, and I'll get to those later. Lastly, for Hammerfell, we have completed a first pass of exterior level design on the Islands of the Chain. As part of this continuing work, the team at Iliad
Yeah,
Bay
just
have
wait.
begun hosting and recording internal streams.
Did I just
where
see
devs
one of the
explore recent developments with
characters
Skyrim
say
Together
your
Reborn.
mom?
Using some of that footage, I'd like to take you on a brief journey of what it's like to work on Beyond Skyrim.
Oh,
Iliad Bay.
what was that? What was that creature?
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Is he told of the battles in Gold
Oh god, okay. Alright, okay. I'm not sure what's going on anymore. I'm worried about copyright. I heard that and I was worried about copyright.
Whoa, hold up there, because I want to talk about this. That is Castle Volkihar, the other side of Castle Volkihar.
Oh,
Right, the west side.
okay.
And you might think that that's easy, because theoretically, Skyrim and High Rock are right next to each other.
However,
No.
different world
That's not how this
spaces.
works at all.
Completely
As far
different
as
world
Skyrim,
spaces.
The game engine is concerned, Skyrim is as far away from High Rock as High Rock is from f***ing Cowboy Planet over there. I don't know, I didn't play Starfield.
What?
Sharon, how you doing
Actually
today?
A lot of work, essentially transferring the cells from one map to
Yep.
another map while keeping their relative position
Yep.
within the entire world. So yes, this is technically a different Castle Volkihar.
But it's
to
there
you, the
for
player, it's gonna look the
consistency's sake. It's there for
It's so fucking hot. It's like 100 fucking
the
degrees
purposes
in here. I don't have air
of
conditioning out.
making it consistent.
Alright, merge stream. This character will do fine. Sure. Sure. It's fine, Skyrim. We merged it. It's fine. Look at that snazzy new load screen.
I do like new loading
Yep,
screens.
I'm on my way, and I just spawned at the border fort. And here we go.
Oh, in and out of the dentist later after getting implants due to surgical extraction. Gotcha. Oh. How long has it been then? Like, you said 5 weeks left. How long has it been now since you haven't had solid food?
I've been caught pickpocketing your croissant.
Oh, you monster.
Oh, because yeah, they are also testing it with
tree in this house.
Beyond Skyrim, or it's Beyond Skyrim Together, because they're gonna be showing off Beyond Skyrim Together tomorrow as a full segment.
Thanks.
Oh, this fridge is very
I might stream the beginning of it tomorrow, Sarah, but I'm probably only gonna stream like the first hour or so.
There you go. And you killed me.
Yeah, I'll need to re-nav mesh it. I mean, I've been learning how to do nav mesh recently, which is handy.
You exterior people and not knowing how to nav mesh.
I feel like I would just,
Yeah, well, that's the boring part.
I would go crazy,
Yeah, well,
because I would just be in the mood for all the solid food. I feel like I would just lose my mind.
So that's great.
Did he just spawn a fire Atronach?
Yeah, I gave her some
I think
summon.
she did. That's cool. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I might want to fix that.
It looks like she's so sad she's playing the harp. Okay, it's just in its final form now. That's fine.
Yeah. With Oblivion lighting.
I've been petrified.
Oh, miss eating chocolate. I'm not a big sweet tooth person. I will not talk too much about food today. How about
more
that?
accurate.
I can do that for you. I can do that much for you.
Garfield and friends.
Is there gonna be a Garfield reference in the mod? Like, is there gonna be a Garfield Easter egg?
Now we
All
have
right,
7.
please don't use copyrighted
I took a couple of them.
sound effects. Please
A
don't.
couple.
Oh my god, it's Ball Groove. Look, everyone.
I'm the Yarrow.
Holy shit, y'all Balgrove.
But Majors, I'm glad to hear that it's done. How long were you
We'll have a highlight reel
working
of
on? Like, how long did it take in the end?
We won't include any other footage.
Oh, my girlfriend teased me sending pictures of
I don't
her
see a
eating
goblin, but I do
chocolate.
see an empty
Oh,
rumble.
now I see the goblin. It's yeah.
And I have noticed that
I would lose my mind if Sarah did that to me. I don't know if she would.
Guess who just crashed?
What?
I think that might be Masako.
Because I know they're doing.
Kill everybody, by the way.
I know they're doing Beyond
out of his house?
Skyrim
Who let this guy out of his
together
house?
tomorrow. Also, you can't really see it very well because of the amount of pixelization, but yeah, you can see it down here. It just keeps on telling the person. Oh, hold on, wait. I gotta.
There's supposed to be a ship that goes along with it.
The entire video, it's just saying, hey, you need to activate Windows because
That's purple.
they haven't activated Windows, which you don't want that on a video presentation. You don't want that to appear on a video, frankly. No food talk, you got it, Biffy. Give me just 1 second. I am on
And
it.
you'll just end the quest this way.
I will say the music's really good. Like, the soundtrack's been really, really good.
After killing him, I see this little book that he has, this little note.
Goku Zeto, I love the new merch stuff.
What?
I absolutely love it. Because we added a couple new items to it somewhat recently.
Oh my
Yours is
goodness.
Yellowbreaker.
We added the
I'm
mud crab
definitely putting that in the show.
polo. I need to wear that sometime soon. I need to put that on stream sometime soon.
Ah, yes. Force.
Mud crab by Llama. Oh, hey, I know that. That's Baldur's Gate music. At least you can have that, right, Sharon? Oh, no copyrighted music. Why? Why are you doing that to me? Alright, we'll turn it back on in a second. Hopefully it's safe now. It is safe
I've
now.
got something to say about these as well. These are Iliac Bay's Yoku ruins, the remnants of the first Red Guards who came to Tamriel from the sunken continent of Yokuda, and where these bad boys now make their home.
I haven't
This
tried.
is
I
known
haven't gotten
as
the coaster
a
yet.
tile set, and it's a finicky thing to do for 3D
I
artists.
have
You have to
the
design a
embroidered
set of
hoodie.
3D models that are both distinctive
I have
and show
one of
off
the
unique
shirts,
architecture, but also
and I have the mud
snap
crab
together
polo.
at many angles to allow level designers to essentially play with them like Legos. As you might imagine from that description, this final version of the tile set was not the first. You might remember this shot, or this shot from previous Iliac Bay showcases. These are earlier attempts at making this tile set, which didn't end up panning out. And we do have plans to reuse those old models, but for right now,
Okay,
those
I'm
plans
glad they're still-
are top secret.
I'm glad
When
they're still going to be
everything needs
using
snap
them.
together, it's best if it's all built the same. And
To
so our
me,
3D
the
artists started
copyrighted
fresh,
content
based off
hasn't
of
added
this
anything to the
concept art.
presentation.
And
That's
from
my
those
problem
strong
with it.
foundations, they were able to craft an incredibly flexible and visually striking kit, which inspired our level designers to create
Like, I'm
unique
here to
ruins
watch
like this one.
the mod.
And
I'm
this
here
one.
to learn about the
The level
mod,
designer of this
not
ruin, whose
for a
name is
meme
Vale,
using,
even
like,
took particular inspiration from
you know,
this piece of
copyrighted
concept
music,
art.
you know?
If we enlarge this a bit, you'll see that while the biome is obviously different, the level designer really captured the feeling of this concept art here.
If I grab something through them, yes, I do get a commission from it, yes. Anything that you buy through my link. Iffy, the mod is not a meme. That's the thing. But yeah, anything that's bought through my link, I do get a commission, and it also shows them that there's enough interest in my community for Corsair stuff. Llama just got his new keyboard the other day. Llama just got his K70 Core keyboard, which is the keyboard I use, and I love it. Really, really enjoy it. Really, really happy with the more compact size. This is Beyond Skyrim Iliac Bay, which is the mod that will combine High Rock and Hammerfell. So, you know, more desert region for Hammerfell. They're showing off some of the new tile sets and whatnot.
As well as plenty of other surprises hidden inside.
James, I get that most of my build is Corsair now. The all-in-one cooler, the fans, the power supply. I've been really happy with the power supply. One of my friends actually just got the new Shift power supply, where it's the, all the connections on the side, so it's a little easier to plug stuff in rather than connecting it. Nope, 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 nope. I don't want to fuck with Disney. Disney's trying to get out of paying a wrongful death lawsuit for $50,000 because someone signed up for Disney Plus once. I'm not fucking around with the Lion King.
You to know how important these two islands have been to the progress of Beyond Skyrim Iliac Bay. I mentioned before.
I just flat out muted that. I was just like,
Well, what does that mean? Last year we showed off the first bits of quest implementation and even voice acting.
A good sign.
Draken, I'm pissed about that. I'm not happy about that
We intend
lawsuit.
to fully develop these islands as a means to set the pace for the rest of our project. It's a commonly used tactic known as creating a vertical slice. For more information on how
James,
vertical
yep.
slices are used, check out Tim Kane's awesome video on the Outer Worlds vertical
A
slice.
lot of
These two islands have
case
relatively
manufacturers
low
don't
asset
anymore.
needs compared to the rest of Hammerfell and Three Kingdoms as a whole.
Well, Viffy, it's not
What's it
Friday.
going to take
What can
to
I
get
say?
this vertical slice finished?
It's the real reason
At
Llama
this
has to
point,
move out.
Not all that much.
Last Joe, welcome on in. How you doing, dude?
Done except for generic dialogue. Those things like character responses to when you pick up your weapon, reaction to a dragon in the sky, character responses to a corpse on the ground. Be an adventurer like you, and then I took an arrow in the knee. All of these things need to be written, especially for Beyond Skyrim.
So, James,
Exterior level design on both
if
of these
you're
islands is
thinking of going with them, I have a friend who's partnered with them.
some harvestables and enemy placement.
I don't know if they have a...
They get nav meshed.
I don't know if they get a discount code, however, I know that they are in a similar position where they would get a,
Essentially lets NPCs
commission.
and enemies know where they can walk and where they can't. And
Oh,
yes,
you already
all
have it
that's
sitting in the
done
closet?
by
Okay,
hand.
got it.
3D modeling is our greatest hurdle. I already mentioned that we're in the process of creating the Yoku
But yeah, my friend Curly, she has a partnership with Fractal, and she's very happy with them.
as well as a few armor, weapon, and clutter sets to really flesh out the Isle. Much of which already has concept
She's
art,
also playing
which has
Red
been
Dead
going strong.
Redemption 2 for the very first time, and she's really enjoying it.
Over this last year. Only a few
They make
quest
some really
streams
good stuff,
remain
though.
open, which can currently be implemented, with others simply waiting on Yoku Ruin interiors.
I love wood finish, Rocky. I love wood accents and wood finishes, which I do have the wood case panels on my Corsair case, which I really like.
There's a lot of talented people here who are just as eager to teach you as you are to learn. I mean, I started out as a writer here, and now I'm coding, I'm implementing, I'm doing...
Well, Goku said the idea behind getting the wood panels for my case was for like the tavern vibe. It almost has more of like an 80s retro vibe, but I also like that. It also kind of looks really, really cool, you know? Yeah, Rocky, the Linus Tech Tips video where they did the all wood gaming setup, I love that video, and I love some of the stuff they showed off. Yeah, the new tile sets do look really good. And I've said it before, it's hard to make desert look right in Skyrim. It's hard, and Beyond Skyrim, they are doing a really good job with that.
you interested in learning to mod?
I was gonna say, you know it's coming. You know Arcane University is coming.
The Arcane University is open for your creative journey. We're a public Discord server open for anyone to learn.
Cause I'm just gonna check what the schedule is, cause I know... I know Skyblivion is the final one. Okay, so we have Roskria for the next 20 minutes? Yeah, we have Roskria, a 20-minute presentation, and then we have an hour-long Skyblivion stream.
Take the next step in your creative journey and join our community.
And Skyblivion is still slated for a 2025 release. And they just showed off, like, 2 quests in full the other day.
Well, the hits keep coming, don't they? Another brilliant showcase on day 1 of Creation ModCon 2024. Thanks to the Iliac Bay team for yet another outstanding preview. Don't you think
Yeah,
so?
Rocky, I'm hoping that my 3090 lasts me for years and years to come.
So, where is our next destination?
Well, we once more take sail with the Beyond Skyrim crew, this time returning to the eerie Sea of Ghosts.
Glacio on the 115 stream streak, look at
What
that.
secrets await in this
Also,
land
just
of
a reminder
chill
that
and find
Creation
out.
ModCon is supporting Doctors Without Borders if you do want to donate to that, if you do want to support them on that. Roskria I'm looking forward to. Roskria is one
Cold are the
of
shores
my
of Skyrim,
most
with the
anticipated
breeze
projects.
of the Sea of Ghosts tearing and grasping at you. One wonders what lies beyond the frozen horizon. But when the fog clears before your ship's bow, you will see the lonely isles of Roskria. A rugged
Timer's up.
enclave where the
I
dark
am
forests
allowed
hide
legally to
twilight-bound
talk about
secrets,
food again.
and where the mountains sing of a time where dragons ruled the heavens. One might mistake it as a land without hope, bound to sink into the ocean from whence it once rose. But should you
If someone
venture
hits a
out
200
and
stream
explore
streak,
this
they...
land steeped in history,
That's a very
you
good
can
question.
see Roskria for what it
I'll
truly
pay for their first therapy session.
a paradise with an endless blue sky that hides beneath thick clouds.
Actually, that sounds kind of expensive. I'll put $20 towards your first therapy session. That's it.
And tombs that invite the
20 bucks,
skulls
that's it.
to sing about their glory. As you leave the walled-off city of Craneshaw, the last outpost symbolizing the Empire's might, you will
Why am I sad? I'm allowed to talk about
wander
food again. I'm
protected
not
by
feeling
the
sad at all. I
warriors
feel
of
good.
House White Bear.
I had 2 coffees today.
Than the Nords of
Had a grilled cheese for lunch. Good day. No complaints here.
The sons and daughters of Roz coming
Time
together.
for a
Oh god, it
celebration!
startled me. It scared me.
Allowing the
For
Sovereign
everyone!
Pokemon in.
Wait, scratch that! Cheese for no one!
When the volcanic warmth of the south subsides and the air is filled with the smell of charcoal, mead, and song, you know that your travels have brought you to Stonval, home to miners and Mithril.
It's true, I'm not really a very sad person. Sarah's right about that.
Shaped the fate of the people and the land. Brave yet greedy merchants seldom leave
Glacio,
home.
I know Sarah lost hers at one point.
They travel to
Because Sarah was
Stonewall
over
in
100.
search of a lucrative contract
But
with
it's
the miners
mostly
and
just because of her work
craftsmen
schedule and her sleep schedule as a result of the job.
However, this small settlement is so much more than the Mithril it ships north and south.
I'm really sad, but I'm
Among the
often
extraordinary
annoyed.
hide of the common folk,
Would you say that's accurate, Sarah?
stories to tell.
I feel like it's pretty accurate.
One of them is known across the land.
Yeah, I figured.
Old Dagnar, once a proud warrior and explorer.
Yeah, because the ruins are meant to
He is the
be
proprietor of He-Field Trading,
Nordic,
local general store.
but not the exact same as the Nord ruins, but they're supposed to have Nord influences, hence a little bit of design similarities. Easily annoying. Yeah, I would agree. I would absolutely agree with that. It's rare that it elevates from annoyed to angry. Like, I get annoyed, but I don't often get angry. Which I guess that's good. I feel like it's better to hit annoyed more often than just to hit angry more often. Like, it doesn't always elevate from, it rarely elevates from annoyed to actually angry. Last show, I'm really glad people have maintained their streaks this month because of the fact that I've missed a few streams, so I feel like it's the thing of it'd be easy to... It would be easy to miss a stream because, you know, it's like, oh, he didn't stream on Thursday, so maybe he's not streaming Saturday, and you just miss it because you just think I'm not here. Blue, what are you having? But, so this is actually what I would have wanted from, the Argonian stream, of like, just don't use the voice acting, don't use the AI voice acting, literally just have us sit and read the subtitles if we want to. Like, I get it, it's a work in progress, to me, this is fine, to me, that's perfectly fine. Another thing I want to comment on is the food in Roscrea looks really good.
His restlessness, you couldn't help yourself, could you?
The Roscrean food
Witnessing
looks
the glory
great,
of
and
an
that's
old
always
man
important
who has
to me.
spent decades in retirement surely is enticing. But some, like his wife, would rather see him spend his declining years peacefully.
The chest looks good, the bed looks good.
Perhaps it is better to not wake the slumbering dragon.
Well, you only had one lockpick. I love butter chicken. I love Indian food in general. I've never made butter chicken from scratch, but I feel like that'd be a good one to do this fall, you know? You taking this week off, actually, is the reason why my streak is still intact. Would have missed a few streams. Try to catch at least a few minutes at least. Yeah, I try to maintain my streaks for a couple people, even if it just means like hanging out for a couple minutes saying hi, and that's it. I need an excuse to not go to the pool. You have... You have a tummy ache. Do you really not want to go? I thought you wanted to go because it's one of the last days you'll have to actually go to the pool. It's not that hot out. Yeah, it's really not. Yeah, it's a high of like 76 today. It's actually hotter tomorrow by a little bit. Not by much, but by a little bit. Oh, Sarah, here you go. Friday, it's gonna get up to 80 degrees. Just go on Friday. '80's a little bit better. You could tell your mom that you're cleaning, that you're cleaning up your clothes in the bedroom. She might want to come over if you tell her that, though, is the only thing. For the pool, though, Sarah likes it to be hotter out to go in the pool because Sarah doesn't like really cold pool water. Go Zeno. I was gonna say explosive, but I didn't want to say that on stream, but that was my first excuse that I thought of. Well, there you go. That doesn't help then, I guess. It's a medical thing, don't worry. Just don't worry about Sarah. It's a medical thing. Yeah, it's gonna be raining the next couple days here. I know with Roscoe they had to redo the entire height map
Grot
for
has
this.
remained unexplored.
So this is the redone
cowardly
remade
speak of old
height map for
curses that were buried
the world
between the
space.
many corpses of this tomb, but others see it as an opportunity for glory.
Ooh, Blue, that does sound good. I'm not a big raisin person. Especially in food, I'm not a big raisin person. There are some people that put raisins in Thanksgiving stuffing, and I'm like, no, don't do that to me. You didn't spook. Oh, is that what you said? Oh, I thought you were just going, meh. Okay. Is that what you told your mom, or? Okay. I'm glad Ghost agrees with me about the raisins. Oh god, little spoil. I remember Krob playing VR Phasmophobia and it terrifying him. He said it was a much better way to play because of that. I also remember when they had the glitch, or the bug, the exploit rather, where you could get on the ground, like if you just laid down in VR, the ghost couldn't kill you. So I think there was a clip of like Krob just like all the way down on the floor. Still works. For some reason I thought they had patched that. For some reason I thought they had fixed that. Maybe not. Well, Blue, don't you know that this is me playing? I'm actually the one doing this demo, couldn't you tell? Oh, because that's the thing. So in lore, pretty much one of the only things we know about Roscria is the fact that it's the source of Mithril in Tamriel. But outside of that, a lot of it is up to interpretation. A lot of it is for the mod authors to create themselves. But that's also one of the reasons I'm excited for Roscria, is because we know almost nothing about it.
Tombs and temples lie undisturbed.
So there's a lot of
Ferocious as the
creative freedom that the mod team can take.
In death, now unburdened by the weight of mortality.
Yeah, like I said, the ruins are similar to Nordic ruins because this is a Nord land, but it is also going to be distinct enough that it'll feel familiar but new.
Tombs until the dragon wakes again to consume all.
Yeah, part of the dragon cult and everything too. So you'll see like the different urns, you'll see like different doors. Dragons, so it'll be in next week's episodes, but I already have some theories about Sledrig. Yeah, because right now I'm planning on 3 episodes of Bard's College a week. So this coming week it's gonna be Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the release period. And I think I have those 3 episodes recorded as well already. I just need to edit them still. But like I said, I've been really impressed with Bard's College expansion. I'm not done with it yet. If anything, I hit a point where I kind of paused in the main questline, in Sledrig's questline, so I could instead do more of the emissary quests, so that I could do more of the bardic duels and whatnot. So trying to find a little bit of a balancing act, because when I finish the main quest for something, I like that to be like one of the last things I do, you know? one thing that I'll also mention in my review for Bard's College expansion is the level of professionalism from the mod team. Like the interactions I have with them, communicating with them. One of the best experiences I've had working with a mod author or a mod author team, frankly. There was a Roscrea mod for Morrowind back in 2018. That's fairly recent in terms of Morrowind mods then. It included time travel into Mournhold's future, but that eventually became optional. Time travel is one of those things where it's not often done well, so I'm not like the biggest proponent of it, especially in mods. But for Bard's College expansion, they've already submitted a patch to Bethesda for approval. I have the patch, and it did actually add a couple things that are pretty helpful. But it's also one of the reasons why I've been taking my time recording, because I knew that there would be some patches and stuff and waiting for those to go out. Forgotten City is one of the best examples, for sure. Go Gusuzetto. Both the mod and the actual, like, standalone game. I love that we're getting Draugr with new armor, by the way. Like, that's really nice. And it looks so much... It looks really kind of worn. It looks really almost rusted, which I love the look of. I like the bronze door. I like bronze. Roscrea is almost like, oh, this was during, you know, the Bronze Age. They did a really good job with choreographing the dungeon, I agree. Because that's actually a big thing to take into consideration when you're, you know, recording gameplay for a presentation. I love the new spell that the Draugr has, by the way. There's something about green magic that's always so foreboding. Right? Like, the second you add green magic, I'm like, ooh, okay. I think that's why I like Arcanist so much. I think that's why I really enjoy Arcanist as much as I do. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if they had to re-record the dungeon section multiple times, just, you know, to get the gameplay that they were happy with. Because so many things can go wrong during that. They also did this with what seemed to be a lower level character, so showing that it is doable early on as well, that you don't need to be, you know, like, endgame in order to play, which I think is also really important in terms of accessibility.
With the guardian of this tomb slain, the numerous grave goods and treasures that these people once held dear are yours for the taking.
I love
You shouldn't leave
the little
Gag waiting
skulls
for
that you
you.
have up here, by the way. I love those that are above almost all the door frames. And another thing they're developing for Roscrea is, you know, new phrases and terms and words like spoken by the locals, which to me is really important for world building. So I think he called it like on screen or something like that. Oh. Wait, oh no. Blue's gonna blame me now. Uh-oh. I like how the old man's like, I gotta sit down. Also, I need you to kill me. I need you to murder me in cold blood. Okay, good. Okay. It seems you can go either way, because there were the options to just be like, no, I'll kill you. Okay, sure, let's do it. Listen, old man Nords, they're their own breed. Great adventure, what if we made this better by you murdering me? And you're like, no, no, I'm good, I'm okay. I'm one of those boring mainland Nords who doesn't kill old men for fun. One thing I will say is, I always loved the quest in Skyrim where you had someone following you through Nordic ruins, through the Barrows, so the fact that we got that with him joining us and whatnot, just, I enjoyed that.
As the day comes to a close, you and Dagnar return to Stonval. Alive.
Well, in this version.
A great number of tombs are waiting for an adventurer to be uncovered on Roskria.
Strike me down, my friend.
That were buried alongside the many corpses and monsters.
And he's like, fine, we're not friends anymore. And you're like, that's okay.
By those who dare.
I'd rather we not be friends and you live.
Beware of the darkness of Roskria. For every adventurer who returns,
chanterelle mushrooms.
Well now, you must really like it here. And they say, I'm mad!
And this is the thing for the 56 month sub. I mean, I'm not playing Skyrim, and things have been pretty good today, but thank you so much. How's your weekend going so far? This is what I wanted from more of the showcases today. The, you know, showing gameplay, showing a quest walkthrough. For me, this was one of the better presentations today. This is what gives me a better idea of how things are going along, because you're seeing quest stages, you're seeing combat, you're seeing armor, weapons, world space design, tile sets. This, to me, is a great representation of where these projects are. And this was ultimately one of the longer showcases that we had today, too. Very important call in an hour. I heard good things about Alien Romulus. I heard it is the best third Alien movie so far. One of the presentations early on was essentially a 5-minute narrated segment where it was really just concept art. I think they showed one 3D model, but it was mainly just that, and I was like, okay. I know there's a lot of time and effort that goes into it, but I want to see a little more for a showcase like this. The Old Madness completed one last adventure, and now you know why it was called that in the first place.
This tale is over, and they all lived happily ever after.
Well,
however, the story
you
of
could choose not to.
Skyrim Roskria is not done.
You could have killed him.
We are still working tirelessly to open up the gates of Craneshaw to those willing to venture north. If you are interested in helping us for this large push, consider joining the team under beyondskyrim.org/join.
Like I said, Roskria is one of the programs, or one of the projects that I'm most looking forward to, and frankly, this reinforced that. This is still one of my favorite projects. It's one of the ones I'm most excited for. I'm gonna very quickly run and take a bio break. I'll be back in just a second. We're just gonna leave it on this screen. I don't want to take away from you being able to watch this. So I'll be back in a second. I'll be back as fast as I can.
Master your craft with special assignments, and even a test claim board where you can take a shot at real project claims free of pressure. We also have live lecture events just about every month, which are then uploaded to our YouTube channel. So, what are you waiting for? Take the next step in your career journey and join our community today.
Well, what an absolutely incredible first day of Creation ModCon 2024. But I reckon we can finish strong. I mean, Perennial taking care of elf business strong. What do you reckon, Scott?
I think I like where this is going, Captain Stew. What do we have in store for all these good people?
Well, get ready to boot your adoring fans off a cliff one more time as we once more return to Cyrodiil of the Third Era with the incredible Scamps over at the Skyblivion team for our final showcase of the day. Remember to hide those jumbo potatoes, though.
Did it end? Uh-oh. It wasn't supposed to end, was it? Did they say something about what was going on? Did they say... Is it going over to Skyblivion? There's supposed to be an hour left. There's supposed to be... a Skyblivion segment. Skyblivion stream up next. Okay, so it's not going to be... here? Oh, okay. It's gonna be on Rebel Z's stream. Okay. Whew. Okay. Over on twitch.tv/RebelZs. Got it. I didn't realize it was gonna be a separate channel. I didn't realize they were doing a separate channel for it, so that threw me off. Lotus Sweatshirts, thank you for the tier 3 for the 45 months sub on the 19-month streak. It should have been a raid. They should have raided over, but unless he wasn't live yet, but you can still raid an offline channel. I will say, I would imagine Skyblivion wanted, you know, the focus on them. It's their project, it's their work. I can understand them wanting it to be on their own channel. I would want it to be on my own channel if I was running Skyblivion. It'll probably be the same way with Skywind tomorrow. It might be like a back and forth tomorrow as well. Because I had actually messaged Kyle, I did message Rebel Z's yesterday to say like, hey, by the way, is it okay for me to, you know, co-stream, to watch this on my stream? Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that it's okay with the creators because of the fact that technically speaking, I could be taking views away from the original. And if anyone ever says, hey, I don't want you reacting to this, I don't want you co-streaming this, fine, I won't, because I think it's very important to respect those boundaries. But given that Rebel Z's is involved with the entirety of Creation ModCon, I was like, hey, he'll know the answer to that. Hey, he'll know if this is okay. But yeah, once again, for Kyle Rebel Z's, like, I'm glad that this is going to him, because then he gets the ad revenue, he gets the views, it counts towards his analytics and everything, so I'm very happy to support him and to try and make sure that he's getting his due, because the amount of work that he does for Skyblivion is staggering. It's massive, it's incredible. There we go. See, I was gonna message you about that. I wanted to steal all the content. Exclusive rights. When is Creation ModCon? Right now, actually. It is today and tomorrow. We are entering the final hour of it now. For today, tomorrow's gonna be a little bit longer, because tomorrow they have more long-form sessions. Tomorrow, I think it's almost 5 hours long, broken down into 5 different showcases, with the final one tomorrow being an hour-long showcase for Skywind. We are most likely going to hop into some Fallout London after the Skyblivion stream, because I just still want to play more Fallout London, frankly. I really, really do. It's kind of a problem. It's kind of an addiction. Tomorrow will probably be ESO. I know we're doing ESO this week because Nissa, we have update 43 on Monday. It's funny because update 43 was kind of pegged as the the housing update, but frankly, Infinite Archive is getting more of an update than housing is. I am really excited to run through more IA. So if you might want to do that during the week, let me know. IA at 5 p.m. I'm in. I should be around. I should be here. So Creation ModCon is mostly beyond Skyrim, Skyblivion, and Skywind, but they bring in a couple other teams as well. So they brought in Olenville, they brought in Esronanit? I can't remember how to pronounce it. But I know it's a collaborative effort mainly between Skyblivion, Skywind, and Beyond Skyrim. Yes, I think there's 15 of the TARDISes in Fallout London. I think I've found 2. There's a good amount of collectibles in Fallout London, and I really enjoy that. So there's the bar mats, they're coasters, which is the equivalent of bobbleheads in Fallout London. They have what they call the Cute Cthulhu plushies, where you have to collect like 10 of them or something like that. The TARDISes, you collect 15 of them. There's vinyl records you collect. I like collectibles. I'm not always the best at getting all of them, but I really like having a good mix of collectibles to find in games. Yeah, Fallout London's been a treat. Fallout London's been fantastic, and it's been such a good year for Fallout. Like, I've been in such a Fallout mood ever since the show came out. Like, I went back to Fallout 3, I've been playing that. Fallout London, I'm really enjoying. The Fallout 4 Vault 13 mod demo was really, really fun. Yeah, the amount of unique weapons, it's been great. The Ferryman's Friend, I love the model of it. The models and textures for a lot of the new weapons are just great. And I was very disappointed with a lot of the weapons, model-wise, texture-wise, in Fallout 4. I am just gonna check to see if they said anything in chat. Granted, I don't mind waiting. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Oh, I didn't know that Kyle was on a stream team. Makes sense, though. Oh, here we go. The second I said something, boom.
Hello, everyone. I go by Rebel's Eyes. I am the project lead for Skyblivion, and I would like to welcome you all to today's gameplay and Q&A.
Skyblivion, 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 Sky.
Whoops, I forgot about that. Sorry.
The UI looks great. The menus look fantastic.
Just as rehearsed.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. I go by Rebel's Eyes. It's much more authentic this way, anyway. I go by Rebel's Eyes. I'm the project lead for Skyblivion, and would like to welcome you all to today's gameplay and Q&A showcase. We will be taking a closer look at our game, as well as break down our quest highlight video that we uploaded earlier this week, which you should definitely check out.
I did. I watched it.
And on top of that, we will be taking a look as well at some new dungeons, interior locations, and much more throughout the stream.
Because, yeah, it's an hour long.
For those of you who don't know, Skyblivion is a remake of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, but in the latest Elder Scrolls engine we have available to us. Our goal from the start has been
the
to
latest
remake
that we have
Oblivion
available,
as we imagine it could look like had it come out 15 years later. Complete with improved graphics, mechanics, better designed maps, cities, interior locations, and so on, we hope you will have a good time re-exploring, or if it's the first time for you, figuring out how Oblivion looks and what it is in store for you.
Yeah,
in terms
the
of
armors and weapons, they're reimagining.
For those of you who don't know, our goal is
really
to release
good.
as early as next year, so I hope you will have a good time playing it for yourself. And yeah, before we start, let me quickly introduce Heavy Burns.
Hi. That's a great start, Kyle.
Thank you. Yeah, that went very well according to plan, and yeah.
Heavy Burns, if you don't know him,
He's
he's a YouTuber. He does all their trailers and some other stuff.
I hope everyone's been enjoying ModCon so far, and if you have any questions throughout the entire stream, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll do my best to pick some out as we go on.
Thank you very much. For those who have a keen eye, we are currently in Bruma. Not where we're going to end up, but I thought it would be a cool start because it's a location that both Heavy Burns and myself worked on. I did the original remaking of the city after someone else had tried their hand at it. And then Heavy Burns, what did you do?
I basically went over again after Kyle had basically done all the hard work, and I just pulled everything apart and just gave it a bit of QAing and finishing up, and now we're left with what we have now. And I also redid all the weathers, so the ones you're seeing now are beautiful Heavy Burns weathers. Wow, amazing.
Wowee.
Yeah, Heavy Burns has been doing some of the development in addition to video stuff.
Again, I swear we did all the mixing and everything ahead of time, but
it's always how it goes.
This
happens to the best of us.
Oh, stream without something going wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I think it might actually be because we're in DMs now, not in the Discord group chat.
Ooh.
Anyway, another cool thing is that I'm wearing a unique set of armor, known as the Brucev Emerillion armor set, which I thought would be a very cool one to showcase for my Nord, who has matching face paint today.
Unique, you say? Okay.
However, for the showcase, we're not going to be staying around in Bruma. We're going to be going to the wonderful city of Coral, which is where our gameplay video that we released earlier this week was taking place. We'll be taking a look at these quests in real time, as well as break down some of the areas around.
Now, obviously, they're still working on all of the map icons. Not all those are done yet, but you're seeing that some of them are done.
Interesting stream for all of you. Also, while I have you, today's stream is part of Creation ModCon 2024, which is a wonderful event where a lot of the Elder Scrolls modding projects are coming together to showcase their work. Not only showcase their work, but we're also trying to support a charity this year called Doctors Without Borders. A link to that is in the description. I know a lot of people are always asking if they can donate to the project. Unfortunately, they can't, but what they can do is maybe put their money towards a
good
bigger
cause.
Purpose.
Coral looks so good. Because they showed off a little bit of this during the
Carl, maybe we should show
the video that came out earlier this week.
If you tuned into our latest gameplay video where we showcased this quest, Fingers of the Mountain, that we're about to go through again, or at least the first half, you might have noticed that there was a certain NPC's face that was a little messed up.
It's face gen data.
Between that video and the stream, we decided to fix her up, and here we have amazing Arana with a face that is not a different color from
no more face bug. Yeah. We noticed a few bugs during during the gameplay video. Decided to fix them up as we saw them pop up during the video. This is not a random event, a scheduled event for the first time you enter Coral.
Likewise, I'm always glad.
I like the new font. It does help to make this feel a little bit more distinct from Skyrim.
My mother owns Northern Goods and Trade in Coral.
All right.
Stop talking.
Good to know. Also, this is an interesting bug that still remains, and it probably will remain for a little bit longer.
The difference in lighting
disposition
between
in Oblivion was a big part of the game. It's not
Skyrim and Skyblivion
yet, so currently our disposition with everyone across the map is 0, or almost everyone. So everyone we talk to will hate us.
Guts, yeah. Which is quite funny because even in the video, there's some really good moments where I think Arana is like specifically thanking you for completing her quest, and as soon as you leave, she's like, "Go away,
get out of here."
True Oblivion fashion. On that note,
looks so good.
Totally unrelated, but we will try to answer some questions during the stream. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them on YouTube and Twitch. We'll try to go over them as we see fit. Obviously, we want to show off the game, and parts of that will include listening to NPCs,
I have that bug
so
in
we
real
won't be able
life.
to take questions the entire time, but if we see a moment,
currently
then
suffering from
we're
that.
happy to answer some questions. So drop them when it, like it's hot.
Yeah, and before you speak to him, if there's any Skyrim devs watching, feel free to send me questions as we go along in case I miss them.
I missed the Oblivion Argonian voice so much.
That would be against protocols, you see. If perhaps you can clear up a small matter involving Irana, you can prove your loyalty to the guild and earn my recommendation. She and I have an unpleasant history.
Oop, oop, oop. There you go, Skyrim pushing. Always happens.
Believes I am misusing my powers. I have seen that she is in town. Though she has not approached me, I know she wants something. I would like you to find out what it is.
I miss the Mages Guild, because the Mages Guild disbands after Oblivion.
I do not want her here, spreading her lies. Make haste. I wish to be rid of Irana as soon as possible.
Like, there was
I
no
saw
Fighters
a
Guild,
kind of
no
interesting
Mages
question pop up
Guild
already
in
that I'm just gonna
Skyrim.
jump on,
It's
which
sad.
was if there are bearded Nords in Bruma, because originally Oblivion did not have any beards, and
That's
you
right.
just missed it. But at the start of the stream, we were in Bruma, and you would have seen a
I
lot
forgot
of
about
very
that.
beardy men.
No
running
beard
around, so
technology
we
in
got you covered on that
Oblivion.
one. For now, though, as I said, we're going to be running through the quests we showed off in our video in real time and talk about whatever we think is interesting at that point. First stop is talking to Irana.
Ah, yes, you are a guild mage, are you not? Yet different from the others. Yes.
You're, you got a crush on her? You're just hanging out. Oh, he didn't like hearing that.
Which you may be able to assist. It's nothing worth involving your guild in, I assure you. Best if kept just between us, yes? So, what say you?
It's also just weird how well the original Oblivion lines feel, like, in Skyrim. Like, it feels really natural. Maybe it's just because I like Oblivion, but
You'll find it in an old
I don't know, it works. It works for me.
It's north of Coral, up in the mountains. I'm afraid I don't have an exact location. Return it to me immediately when you have it. Make no mention of it to Tikius or anyone else in your guild. I will make it well worth your effort.
Yeah, because they've already
Alright.
remade clothes.
Accepted. Yeah, the guard is very creepily just
armors.
hanging around.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. He's
And
just
as soon as we
stalking
walk
her.
away, he seems to back off as well.
And in true snitch fashion, we're going to instantly go and report our findings to Tikius. Tikius? What's his name?
Tikius.
After she immediately says, "Don't tell anyone." we're gonna
Don't
go straight
tell
away.
anyone. I mean, you
Also,
need his
one of
recommendation.
the things noted in the video that's probably worth addressing is there were some comments referring to the city having not enough NPCs. Currently, most of the cities only will function properly once all interior and exterior nav mesh is done and the AI packages have been gone over.
Makes
And Coral is
sense.
one of the cities that needs interior nav mesh, so currently you're not seeing many NPCs in the city because everyone's stuck in their home because they can't walk out.
Makes sense.
A good example is the guild itself. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a sixth? There's 5 people in this single room, and the reason why they're not going outside is because, as far as they can tell, they can't.
There's nowhere outside.
So they're just kind of hanging around where they
They're
spawned
gamers.
originally instead of roaming the city and going about their day.
Not only does it exist, but she knows where it is. Well, this is unacceptable. That book needs to be in the safekeeping of the guild. I trust that as a member of the guild, you would do the right thing and acquire this.
I've said it before, just the armors, the weapons, they look so good.
Clear? Ignore her request. Go to this place she has described and return with the book. This is far more important than any petty squabble.
I am wondering
I wish to be rid of Erana as
if they'll show off more of the menus during this.
Alright, so next up
I
we
wonder
have
if
to
we'll see
find
leveling
Fingers
at
of the
all.
Mountain. We got some vague instructions that it's somewhere up the mountain, so that's where we're gonna go. And while we have a bit of a walk ahead of us, interestingly enough, Coral is one of the cities that
The thing
got
it makes
the
me think
least
of
amount
is
of
I know some
changes
people who
in
have
terms of
had
its
cats where, because the cats had never been outside before and were only ever like indoors, the first time they saw the outside, the first time they went outside, they were like, what is this? That's what I'm thinking of with the NPCs right now.
The city in the original game was more or less perfect. It missed a lot of details that we decided to add ourselves. But the layout was just very cozy and quaint, and instead we decided
water
for
looks
instance,
so
to focus
good.
on the area outside the city. So what you will see if you cross the area into the Colovian Highlands, which is ahead of us, is that the land surrounding the city is filled with
They're
lots
very
of
dedicated to the guild.
sheep and wheat that can feed the city. Whereas in the original game, this was all empty land. It was just a forest directly outside of the city. So we decided it would be better utilized to actually try and
Make
supply
it
the
look a
city
little
with
bit more lived in,
food,
yeah.
wool, I guess, as well.
Yeah,
There's
as
some
we're coming up into this biome now, this is actually the Colovian Highlands, which Carl, you did all by yourself, didn't you? Maybe you can speak a little bit about
It's a very minor thing. I would maybe love it if we could see
what differences you wanted to make
some sort of reskin for the
I have to
little
admit, though, that I didn't do
enemy
it all by myself.
red
Like,
circle.
the
They might be
Colovian
doing
Highlands
that. They
was
might
one
be
of
working
the
on that
regions
already.
That was, it has changed hands a couple of times over the years, and I gave it the final push and the final redesign. I would say.
But for the final release, if they made that
it was
maybe
surprising,
look a little bit
surprising
more
amount of fun,
drawn,
actually, to work on
like
this
the
one.
rest of the UI, I think
it's
that'd be really
Colovian
cool.
Highlands, which obviously, given the name, it's inspired by the Highlands, which is a very cool region on the British Islands. Partially anyway. but
Ooh,
with a
someone just
more
gifted
dry,
5
arid,
gifted subs
touch,
to
which
Rebelsies.
gives it a very unique vibe compared to the rest
I
of
believe
the map.
Oblivion
It's
had
filled with pine
grass
trees and
cover.
sharp rocks and
I
it's a
think so, at
an
least.
uninteresting place because there's not a whole lot of quests happening here. There's not a whole lot of content for you to find or like a lot of quests for you to concern
Okay,
yourself
I
with.
thought it did.
But there is a lot of room to explore, and I tried to take full advantage
On
of that
console, there wasn't
for
all that
those
much
who, like
grass. It was
just
more
roaming
so
the
just
map.
like the
For
flat
instance, there's
green ground
something
texture.
below this bridge, which if you take a closer look, you can find some details and put together a story of what might have happened here.
Environmental
But
storytelling, yeah.
The big item in this location in terms of
I love the kind of like
notable
rocky
locations
overhang.
is probably the one that we're going to be walking towards now for the Fingers of the Mountain quest.
Not to the same
It's,
level as Skyrim, obviously, yeah.
It's a tower, an old tower. We don't exactly know what happened, what its use was. All we know is that it's old, it's abandoned, and it's far past its former glory.
They have the new wolf models.
Which is exactly what I tried to make it look like. I took inspiration from Weathertop, which you might know from the Lord of the Rings, and gave it a bit of a unique touch, let's say, to make it fit the quest and the environment that it is.
No, so they're remaking Oblivion as it was, so they're not adding any new quests.
The gameplay showcase.
They're using the original dialogue, the original quest. They're not adding any new quests of their own or any new content, really. They're adding new.
About this location, I'll show you in a,
Well, they're improving locations, but they're not adding new stuff to it. It's just outside of the scope of what they're trying to make, which I think makes sense.
I think I described the Colovian Highlands earlier as the good reach, so...
Yeah, I can totally agree with that.
God, look
and this is
look at that.
The view.
Yeah, this is my favorite thing about this this location. It's not so much the tower itself, but the little balcony you get, where you can look over pretty much the entire map. And I can quickly point it out to you, and it's one of the reasons I loved Oblivion so much. I love Skyrim as well, but Oblivion, it's just so much more vast. We have the Colovian Highlands obviously around us here. We see some snowy peaks. Behind us there is the Gerald Mountains. In the distance, you can sort of make it out. It's a bit foggy.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah, I can see the White Gold Tower ever so slightly.
Which is, engulfing the Orange Road. We have below us the city of Coral, beyond which is the ancient oak forest, and behind that, the redwoods, which together make the Great Forest.
Yeah, this is.
And it's just.
I can't wait for Skyblivion. I really can't.
Inspiring almost to see how far we've gotten. This is also the first
I would say
time
inspiring. I would easily say inspiring.
LOD, which is the distant map details in the game. So it's very cool to be able to just basically see like 90% of the map in its finalized state and show it to all of you as well. And
so my understanding is, I actually talked to Rebel's Eyes about this earlier this year. They are going to release the base game first, but they do plan on doing the DLCs later on.
Complete. Like it didn't have any massive
to me, that's the best way to do it. I'd rather we get that first, and then they can work on the DLCs afterwards. They've also said that those will be easier by comparison. It'll be easier to make those, that it's the main game itself that takes the longest.
The city locations, is that going to be the same as Skyblivion? So, the way we have it working in Skyblivion is it's basically going to be like Skyrim. So at the start of the game, you'll have all the cities viewable on the map, but not fast travelable. So they'll be
nights, and then it will be easy. Yeah,
so you can see where they all are, but you would have to either walk there or take a carriage. Or
they also plan on doing all of the plugins, the small $5 house and quest DLCs.
A butterfly pushing like a 20-kilogram metal.
So like Maverin's Razor, Frostcrack Spire, they will be doing all of those too.
The magical butterfly.
Well, if it isn't my little helper, have you retrieved that book for me yet?
Horse armor, obviously.
I have.
Oh, wonderful. I'll just take this from you and get to work translating it. I'll need some time with this. Come and find me tomorrow. I'll be at the Grey Mare until I've finished my work. But please don't disturb me until I'm done.
Getting to see the lighting now that the sun's starting to set, it's beautiful. Kato,
Right, so
thank you for the lurk, and thank you again for the sub
for
today, dude. Really appreciate it.
To be completed, or for us to continue the quest, which is the perfect segue for us to maybe go to one of the local inns and see what else there is to do.
See some other quests. There is at least one other they showed off in the recent video. Yeah.
Are all the voice lines taken from Oblivion, or did you record them again? All of
Nope,
our voice lines
all
are
from Oblivion.
So our installer, when you download the game, will search for your Oblivion files and take them out, extract them, and then implement them into Skyblivion. So all of our voice lines are using the original voices.
Time for a celebration!
Also, I do apologize for the video, but I tried playing with the console or controller, and I just
absolutely
can't. So
scared me.
I'm trying to mimic the
absolutely terrified me.
A controller.
Thank you, Josh.
I'm not quite succeeding.
Yeah, for legal reasons, you have to own both Skyrim Special Edition and Oblivion in order to play Skyblivion. And like you said, when you install Skyblivion, when it's out, when you install it, it will do the thing of, it's going to check to make sure that you own and have both games installed, because it's taking the audio files, the audio lines from Oblivion and putting it into the install of Skyblivion.
My boys will take up the fight, even if the guards won't. Doesn't matter.
I mean, Josh, lactose intolerant people, it's probably plenty scary to them.
They expect me to go with them, but
I fear in my old age I'm not the warrior I once was. Would you go in my place?
I think we might be able to help out here. Also, thank you very much for the raid, and good to see you, Mick. Hope you're doing well.
Somehow, I knew you'd do the right thing. I'm supposed to meet them at Wayne and Priory. You'd best get whatever supplies.
It's crazy to hear. I know it, but it's still crazy to hear how many people Wes voices in Oblivion.
Alright.
So Barlim, I have...
With that in mind, it is getting late, so maybe we should...
I have no knowledge of plans for that right now. I'm not familiar with their plans for that right now.
An honor to serve you. I'm Imfrid, owner and publican of the Grey Mare at your service.
Because even with Enderal didn't get a Steam release for 2 years?
I just love the idea of in Oblivion just walking up to an innkeeper and being like, bed.
Well, I think the idea is that
what'll this do? New quest started.
Say the lines, so you have a bit
you
more
name
freedom
your own
to
quest.
Because it is a role-playing game after all.
I have a room ready if you need it for the night. It'll be 10 gold. Interested?
But yeah, Enderal had to get approval from Bethesda.
It's just upstairs, the first door on the left.
I know the Skyblivion team has been in communication with the Enderal team, but as of right now, I don't know anything about distribution plans. I am not familiar with distribution plans as of now. Thank you for the posture check.
The dad and the two sons all use the same voice actor, which is Wes Johnson. It's very funny to basically hear the same person act 3 separate people in the family.
Thank you for the stretch.
One of the questions we got was, will you implement the leveling system as it was in Oblivion, or also do rebalancing? Also, do you also implement the leveled enemies like they were ebony-wearing bandits? So our leveling system is basically built up from the ground up from us, and it will be a lot closer to Skyrim than Oblivion's.
I was leaning pretty
and
close.
No, bandits will very likely never be wearing ebony. There'll be like a cap of what type of weapons and armor they can spawn with, so they will level with you to a certain point, but you'll surpass them once you get past a certain level.
I will need to refill this a little bit later because I'm already nearly out.
And I think we're about to pass the possibly moonwalking course.
You didn't like the Daedric armor
wearing
bandits? That horse is having a hell of a time.
Yeah, as amazing as the current state of the game is, and we really are just trying to focus on wrapping everything up and finalizing what we can, fixing bugs and adding polish. We're not pretending like the game is, 100% finished and done. And
they're very honest about it. They're very.
I'm not trying to hide
it.
it. You'll see bugs. You'll see missing objects.
Can we talk about how good that windmill looks?
Having said that, like the amount of work we've been able to get finished, and like
I'm doing
where we are
today.
now,
I'm doing pretty well today.
I don't think I could have ever imagined it becoming, first of all, this big with so many people looking forward to the release of it, but also this good. The amount of talent that has graced this project over the years is it's astounding, and it's really cool and inspiring.
Really proud of our team's efforts in the last year and how much we've managed to get done, and just the quality level of it all is really inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I have no time for small talk, friend. I'm waiting for my father, Valis Odil. Have you seen him in town by any chance? He's not coming with us? I think I understand, and it is better that he remains safe. Though I wonder why he has asked you to take his place.
I'm still just staring at the armor, like seeing the kind of like the tatters at the bottom and everything. There's so much detail in the one armor set alone, and I love it.
Your help, then. There's no point in waiting here any longer. Follow me.
Ooh, I see a question. Did Dive Rock get upgraded and expanded? And it actually did.
What a great question.
It did very, very recently, yeah.
I don't remember that off the top of my head.
I don't know if we'll have a lot of time to show much more than these quests and
the two quests they planned out.
And dungeons in this stream, but if we
Yeah.
do, we might head over there.
Because that's the thing, they're targeting a 2025 release. They haven't said when in 2025, so
And these
they
brothers
do
are
still
quick.
have some time. It's
Having
not
trouble
like
keeping up.
they're pushing it out tomorrow or anything.
Question saying, has there been any really difficult missions to script from the game? Likely yes. Individuals I wouldn't know the answer to. That would be a quest question, but I definitely know that the entire main quest is a really long, convoluted mess to unpack
Oh,
and
yeah,
convert
yeah.
to
With the
Skyrim.
stages
That's
and
been a
everything.
huge task for our quest lead Jadkai, and it's very impressive what he's managed to do with it.
Oblivion's code is spaghetti code at best. It's very inconsistent.
Yep, we're watching the Sky
also,
Oblivion stream right
this
now.
is very cruel of me, but I'm
Gonna
kinda
let them
waiting
die. Yep.
For them to die, because I wanted to show a different outcome than what we
Yeah.
showed in the gameplay video.
Maybe
Which
you'd wanna hit
includes...
it with an RCC.
They did talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's my main responsibility today.
Well, rip to the Ontus family. This is the final mod for the day. They've shown off everything else so far, so they showed off.
I think that may have been me.
They showed off the Beyond Skyrim project, so they showed
That's
off
unfortunate.
Beyond Skyrim Morrowind, Cyrodiil,
Well, we've successfully
Roscaria,
failed
Atmora,
the mission.
a couple side
It was a
projects
very
as well,
lame
so
shield bash that I accidentally killed the sun with.
Olenfeld and
Well, you know,
Estranonid? I
people
always
don't
forget
know
how to
this, but in
pronounce
the
it.
video where we showed the sun's dead on the floor. That was because I too murdered him. Don't tell anyone.
Oh my god, there's so many goblins.
It's almost as if you meant to fight this with 3 people, huh?
Because I was gonna say, yeah, he's playing with God mode
probably a
on, which is
follower
probably
as
just
well.
the safest way to do it right now. It's
And
probably the best way to do
you
it for a
are using kind of
presentation.
weak sword, so maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, this sword actually needs a buff. This is one of those things we noticed by actually playing the game today, is that this is it's a quest item. It's a beautiful sword.
But
it's Lord Rockdump's claymore.
Oh, I love Lord
It's a
Rockdump.
quest,
Oh,
quest
okay,
reward. I
level
can
up.
show it in greater detail in a second, but the
Actually,
damage it
wait a second.
it puts out, it's not great.
It's basically the same as a one-hand.
No, they talked a little bit about
fine
how the
steel
leveling
great
system's
sword.
gonna work. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if they've
Pretty weak
implemented
for a
the
200
quest
weapon.
system
You
yet.
see, it has a very unique design. I'm a sucker for unique weapons in any game.
I am too.
And probably one of the reasons why we went so hard with the amount of unique weapons in Skyblivion. Like if you're gonna get a uniquely named swords in a game, if it's not gonna look unique, then what's the point?
Right. No, I'm with him on
Especially
that.
in
I
games
agree.
like Oblivion and Skyrim, where you don't really get rewarded
Yeah.
XP directly for completing quests, so the rewards are really all you get for the most part. So the rewards need to be worth it.
Yeah, and I can hear concerns from people, you know, like if you're gonna make all these unique weapons, then it's probably also causing the game to be delayed further because people have to put time and resource into this. Funny enough, it's really easy to find people to make cool-looking swords and armors.
Yep.
What else do we have? Like staves,
Yeah.
staves.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to find people that want to do a house, of which we have a lot more. In
Houses
comparison.
or quest stages and
Yeah.
stuff.
So it's
Yeah.
most of the unique weapons and unique assets in the game that are like related to quests or just interesting things spread out through the map. They have been done for years. It's been the biggest
Quest
challenge
stages,
to make
nav
the boring
meshing.
stuff. And on top of that, the project has always been a
Volunteers.
bit. What's the word? Like we scale with the current challenges. It's always been the goal to have all the quests in the game. Obviously, we want to release a game with quests, but quests has also been one of the biggest challenges for us to properly re-implement, remake for this game. And as such,
there's the
every
dancing
time,
horse.
it looks like quests are going to get
Brandy,
pushed
thank
back
you for the
a
lurk.
bit further, or if progress has not been steady enough, then it basically gives us time to work on different locations. So
Rocky, welcome
At the
back.
start of Skyblivion, we thought quests were going to be a walk in the park, and the idea was to just have the map be the exact same, not try to remake the world, not try to redesign the cities, and just have the game as is, but running in a new engine. And as as it became more and more apparent that getting quests to work was not as easy as we thought, the game sort of scaled with that new timeline. New people joined the project. A lot of folks like yourselves who are watching right now found out about the project, started supporting us, and thanks to that, the project got like a lot of attention online. You know, through a lot of word of mouth, we got a lot of very talented people joining us and helping out where they could. So it's in large part thanks to all of you that the game looks the way it does right now. And yeah, I really do think that
there's that good old Oblivion
for what we
fog.
are, you know, ragtag band of wannabe developers. To be fair, there are like actual professional developers in the team as well, but what we've put together is nothing short of a miracle. All right, well, let's break
so
the bad news
fact that they did
to,
all the new models, all the new
to
textures, you know, those changes came later. But Rocky, to nobody's surprise, Skyblivion looks great. To nobody's surprise at all, because you know, they've always done a great job.
Oh God. They died out there all alone.
No, he was there. Rebel's Eyes was there.
It should have been me, not them. I'm sorry. You did all you could, I'm sure. Thank you for trying.
I don't know about
I'm afraid
all
I
he
have
could
nothing to
have.
offer you. What little money I have must now be spent on burials. Please, if you'll excuse me.
Fair. I asked you to help
So
my
this is
sons,
interesting
and they
because
died.
If you manage to keep both sons alive, you get a unique sword as a reward. If you keep one of them alive, you get, I believe, just an amount of gold. And if both are dead, you get nothing. Except for completing a quest, so you can check that off your list, I guess.
I shouldn't have pushed so hard.
I'm waiting.
It doesn't look like we have
waited the 24 hours yet, yeah.
I've waited long enough to continue the Fingers of the Mountains quest, but it might be a good opportunity to actually check out some of the dungeons we were talking about earlier.
Here we go.
You have a question, will this game be super difficult to install? Hopefully not. Our plan, and seems like is going well so far, is to make a installer that just does everything for you. So you load it up, possibly pick some settings or like a graphical option, and then it will just do everything that it needs to do on its own.
That's how it should be.
Hopefully that will remain to be the case.
That is correct. I'm quickly gonna run around the cathedral because I like this little
rut.
What do you call it?
Little moat.
Trench.
Trench. There you go.
My
That's the word.
reminder to hit us with an RCC.
Yes, Supreme Heavy Burns.
Also, I'm learning something new because I always used FW81A to set to default weather.
It will be, yes, that's my responsibility. So blame
So
me.
RCC. I'm gonna remember that.
But yes, all the cinematics in the game will be remade.
I love the loading screens that they did. So anytime those pop up, I almost want them to last
How would the intro of the game
longer.
work, and has it been worked on yet? So the intro will play out as close to as Oblivion as you would hope.
As possible.
It has been worked on. We are
It looks
currently in
so
a
good.
stage where it is working yet, and it looks very cool, and it's very fun and nostalgic to play through that. But we're saving it to hopefully show you guys like a big intro segment walkthrough sometime early next year.
It's one of those things that would be cool to show off when
I
we're
have
just
pre-roll
about
ads on because I
ready
haven't
to,
run any ads throughout the day since
hit
the start
live.
of stream, since we
To
haven't really taken any
upload
breaks
on
today at
this
all.
mother.
If you're coming out of Coral, Kyle,
I remember.
I will say there are
I
worse
remember.
ads I could get.
I was
than a Burger
trying
King ad,
to
because I do actually
activate
like Burger
my gray
King.
cells, and I did.
Gray cells.
I've said it before.
Gray
Of
cells.
the
Isn't that what
big
you call your brain
three
cells? Like
fast
gray
food
matter?
places, my ranking is Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's.
I've never heard it,
McDonald's
but I'll take your
is
word for it.
my least favorite of the big three because I don't like their burgers all that much.
What clan were those goblins? Those were just generic ones. Clan goblins will be very, very distinct. You should.
Burger King I like, but Burger King is just pricey for fast food, frankly.
3, I think we showed up all the time. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, Wendy's is at the top.
no!
Right? Wendy's is the
The
top
dog.
of those.
Oh my god!
McDonald's has
she killed
the best
wolf.
consistency.
We did a test run of this earlier today, and
McNuggets,
the guard dog actually killed the wolf, but I guess Murder Sheep. Have you guys watched The
agreed.
Boys? That episode with
Juniper,
those sheep? That's all I'll say. And I don't want to spoil it.
Arby's, there's just not a ton of them here. I do like Arby's though.
Yeah, we'll just get Shadow to make a custom creature rig where they fly around and...
The sheep killed the wolf. Yep,
The
he
Glovian
fought
Highlands,
back.
it looks so like the elevation is so good. I'm so happy with how it turned out.
Josh, yes.
I really like the Glovian
When
specifically
McDonald's
as
is
well,
fresh,
because
the
it's open,
McNuggets
of course,
and
but
the
it feels
fries,
more linear, like you don't-
fantastic.
I don't know, it feels like you can get lost.
When they're
It's quite
not,
nice to
mm.
just like
Yeah.
follow the natural roads and see where you end up.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna
What
show
significant
off
changes Oblivion is going to have from the original game. What are the first things
leveling
people will
at
notice?
all.
I think immediately you'll notice the quality of interior locations, dungeons, because as soon as you start the game, you're going to be in.
Here on the
some of
East
it's
Coast,
very reminiscent to the tutorial dungeon, but
Burger King's pretty decent.
has been
Or it's
licensed
fine.
to
It's all
modern
fast
standard,
food. It's
and then
none of it's
you get
fantastic.
Just the monotony of
The light, the way that the light comes in, that's gorgeous. Already, this looks so distinct from mines in Oblivion, but it looks great. Like, this is beautiful right here. I don't know the last time I went to a Taco Bell.
So I believe this location is called Pillaged Mine, I think is right.
Yeah, it looks pretty pillaged.
God,
And
that
this
looks
is
good.
just an example of one of the small, but random interiors you might come across.
I've
So
never
it's
had Culvers. I've always wanted to,
surprisingly
though.
hard to prioritize quest locations to be.
I just
the
realized this is a
impressive ones
lift.
to be the ones that we spend a lot of time on. But
I
even our
just realized this is going to be a lift.
We put a lot of care into making sure the quality is up to scratch. And you're about to see one of our cool new additions, which is a mine elevator.
I love the little shake. The fact that it's like shaking a little bit, such a nice detail.
And hopefully, as it touches the ground, we'll see.
I forgot about that.
Right.
Give him some space.
Once again, this looks so much better than all of the mines in Oblivion. Like, this is already just... There he goes! Oh, got some nice airtime there.
I was a bit delayed watching it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're gonna see leveling today. The interior lighting also looks ridiculous. Yeah, Oblivion didn't have the best designed dungeons. I liked the Alien ruins, but caves, mines were really kinda If anything, one thing I was looking forward to with Sky Oblivion is the fact that we'll actually have the proper
in
mining
Skyrim,
system.
The sort of progression for smithing is a little strange because you could essentially just go to the mine that has ebony in straight away and just mine it, and you could just get, you can't smith ebony armor straight away, but you can get ebony basically at the start of the game. One of our goals for all the mines in Cyrodiil is to basically have an ebony vein hidden in every single mine that you can find and harvest across the world. So if you are in a mine and you haven't found ebony yet, you haven't looked hard enough.
Interesting.
Oh,
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. How are they going to handle...
frontal lobe?
How are they going to handle the smithing
Shame that what
skill
happened
and
earlier
smithing
didn't
of
happen again
logs?
with the arrow in the elevator.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that really fits your character.
It's such a minor thing.
Does.
I
already missing an eye. Oh, never mind, it's
love
gone.
when mods make new chests.
And I was gonna say they shot me in my blind eye anyway, so that's fine.
Seeing new chests in mods, there's something about it where I get so excited because it's like, ooh, something new and shiny that my new and shiny rewards are going to be in.
Yeah, this is a relatively...
Several of the people who work on Skyblivion are professional game developers, so Rebel's Eyes, who runs Skyblivion, is the project manager for the mod, works in the video game industry. He actually worked on a game that I played on stream before. It's called Potion Craft. It's a fantastic indie game where you go through and you are an alchemist and you're making potions for like this little medieval fantasy town. Here we go.
And off we go.
I do like a fancy chest. Yep, he worked on Potion Craft. I got a free copy of the game because of him. Because he was like, hey, we'd love if you played it, streamed it, tried it out.
Will ebony armor be black and yellow again, or look like it does in Skyrim? Is it yellow as well? It's definitely closer to the Oblivions than Skyrim for sure. I can't directly remember if the trims on it are yellow. I think they are, or white. But yes, it looks a lot more high fantasy than Skyrim's more, I guess, like rugged, ebony-looking armor and weapons.
Yeah, this looks like a proper mine. Like, the mines look so much better. Mines in Oblivion were very...
plan where to next.
Yeah.
So, if we are leaving this cave, I think the best direction to head would be towards...
Poor Llama. Like, this is what he wants to see. Poor Llama, this is what mods he wants to see.
Southeast-ish, mostly south from where you are now. A little bit southeast.
Yeah, the shield looks good.
The thick of the Great Forest will hopefully arrive there.
Also, I've had my favorite armor sets. I've had many, honestly, throughout development, but I think one of my final favorite armor sets now is going to be the Bruce Vermilion set. It's just chef's kiss.
Yeah, I really, really love this one, specifically on Khajiits, because they get little metal ears, and they look really nice.
Oh.
The concept for this was also like excellent.
Yeah, taking
concept, fantastic
the beast races into
execution.
account is really important.
Yeah, this armor is probably an example of like start to finish one of the best went to plan armor pieces in the game. Like, just is excellent all around.
Yeah, there's been a lot of cases with the project where we kind of like failed successfully into something usable. Just because, you know, we're not, especially at the start of the project, we didn't know really what we were doing, and just seeing what works. As we got more and more comfortable and familiar with the tools and with how running let's say a makeshift game studio,
I was gonna say the equivalent of a studio
is at this point.
Yeah.
We actually got some really well planned out wins, of which this is one. Should I I'm walking towards Hackdirt now. Is that correct? It's southeast-ish.
Hackdirt?
Yeah, it's just below Hackdirt. So if you go past Hackdirt towards, there's a little sort of pond on the map. You should be able to see it. It's sort of in between Hackdirt and the pond.
Okay. Oh, I know where that is. Yeah.
He's like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And actually, as we walk through the Great Forest, this is one of the locations now that is... I think there's still a few cells to go, a few claims, but it is ultimately pretty 100% nav-meshed. I guess that's technically not 100% at all. It's about 80% nav-meshed.
The ruins look great.
But that's a really cool milestone to see, you know, the game just come to life once you start nav-meshing an area, and, you know, creatures are able to run around, enemies are able to attack you, and you can start actually figuring out how these areas are going to play now.
Yeah. No, I mean, nav-meshing is just, it's tedious.
I kind of wanted to avoid going through
it's a pain. It's slow.
I didn't want to spoil it, but it also seemed a bit mean to just like walk past it and not actually give it a...
The change in lighting, the change in the weather as you enter it too.
Kind of an iconic,
very foreboding.
One of the more iconic locations in the original game. I'm gonna make this jump. Yeah, it should be fine.
Will the Share Goroth DLC be part of the remake? It will be a post-release DLC. So we aim to release the main game. There may be some small DLCs that are included in the main game, but don't expect that.
Like the houses. Yeah.
But the official DLCs will be worked on after release. Yes.
Also, I just want to quickly mention this, but shout out to Bethesda just because Bethesda has been fantastic to their modding community over the years. They're one of the few companies that let us do everything that you see on screen now.
Something like this,
but a whole lot more that other projects and other singular modders are doing. So I just really would like to express my gratitude towards all the original developers and everyone who is running those games and the company behind the scenes.
It's why I always find it so funny when people talk about
them interviewing us
how Bethesda hates mod authors or Bethesda's trying to screw over mod authors.
Time to, you know,
it's like literally talk to mod authors about this. Literally ask mod authors if they feel like Bethesda is doing something wrong to them.
Everyone that works on this project does it because they love Oblivion, they love Skyrim, they love Elder Scrolls, and that doesn't happen without Bethesda. So
yeah, the only reason we're here is one, because we're madly in love with the franchise, but also because we're allowed to do this.
Yep.
And encouraged, I would even say.
I would agree, encouraged. Bethesda has given Skyblivion a few spotlights over the years too. They've talked about it multiple times.
Oh, wait, which one were we supposed to do?
Redguard Valley Cave.
Oh,
I think
damn it.
It might be the one next to it.
Yeah, look, I was gonna say, like, the entrance, it doesn't look overgrown enough, but it looks kind of similar.
Honestly, while Bethesda has the money to, you know, handle all the hosting that Nexus does, I don't think they want to fully replace.
Is it the small lake or the big lake that we're supposed
I
to
doubt they want to fully replace Nexus because it would also mean some limitations. I think they ultimately know it means, oh, we're not going to be able to support the same types of mods because they have the restrictions. You can't support certain types of content, and there's also the restrictions, especially on PC of, you know, PC, how many people are using Script Extender or these other tools that really can't be installed just natively through the in-game menus.
I don't want to cheat. I want people to think that we rehearsed this in practice. I went through all the locations.
I'm glad that they improved the mod menu for Skyrim when they did the creations update, but
streaming again for the first like half year it's a bit nerve-wracking as well for some reason. So
while they might
I'm dropping the balls.
Want to be the central site for mods for their games, I don't think they'll ever do anything to the Nexus because I think they know the amount of backlash would really work against them.
Yeah.
Oh, is it this one? Oh, okay. No, I see. I think I see which one.
Especially since, like, Bethesda will never be able to host something like Skyblivion because of the size and also just because of the fact that it has to run a downloader, it has to run an installer and stuff like that. And they're also very supportive of the script extender teams. They sent the Skyrim script extender teams early builds of the Anniversary Edition update and the Creations update. That way, the script extender team could get a head start on the updated script extender versions.
They're both fleeing, so the way they just scurry up into
like, I'm out of here.
I got them both down to like relatively low health, and they were just like, nope.
We don't have to deal with this today. We saw what happened at the Odell.
The Nexus started originally because of Morrowind mods. Or like, isn't that kind of one of the big things that kicked it off? Was
I do remember
hosting Morrowind mods.
With the ogres though last time,
and it just grew from there.
Walking away.
Barlam, I'm really glad to see that Microsoft hasn't imposed any changes there.
We just seem to keep breaking things along the way, and then we have to fix them back
for instance, I don't know if you guys saw, but Activision just sent a cease and desist for a major Call of Duty mod that was going to come out.
The shirts of one of the brothers.
Meanwhile,
in the video.
Bethesda really hasn't had any change to how they approach modding
skin of the NPC,
as a result of Microsoft, it seems.
Upper arms and the neck, you know, it's just one of those great things where you fix one bug and you seemingly create another.
But I'm convinced that Bethesda was able to maintain not independence, but I'm willing to bet that Bethesda had something in their contract where they said, hey, we're still running these things our way.
But it's a really cool...
It does feel like, aside from, you know, getting some of the benefits of being part of Microsoft Game Pass, funding, stuff like that, it seems like they largely
This
still do
location
things
is,
the way they want to.
well done. The cluttering is
Which-
really good. The atmosphere is really nice. It's
I'm sure Microsoft
it's also
realized was also
the one thing I
important.
so dislike about Oblivion is that it had hundreds of dungeons, and most of those dungeons, they were like 5 cells long, and it was just one quarter after the other. You basically you're walking through
I
a dungeon
knew
for 30 minutes.
that
just to
Nexus
walk
had
through
something
another
to do
level for 30
with
minutes,
the
another
Elder
level for 30
Scrolls.
minutes. And then at the end, you had to basically crawl all the way back because unlike in Skyrim, there was no.
I mean, Juniper,
no easy
understandably
way to-
so.
to go back to the
Bethesda has
start,
Elder Scrolls, Bethesda has Fallout,
is a little
Bethesda
bit
has Doom.
How long do we have left in the showcase? By the way?
They have the ability
we are the last
to just
one
flat out
today,
say like,
so
hey, by the way, no,
it
we're
was supposed
doing
to
this
last an
our
hour,
way.
We're already. Well, I think it's just been an hour if you count
There's
the actual gameplay.
certainly going to be
It
limits.
can take as long as you want.
However,
No one else is waiting on
Oblivion
it.
I'm
have a
sure that
decent
they've
map.
bought themselves,
Skyrim
you know,
itself,
a
you
little
have
bit of
to
freedom
Oblivion
with
will
how much
mostly
they've
take
done.
the map, that's the plan.
Bungie
we
had
have a
Destiny.
version of the same
Bungie
map
essentially
currently
only had
in
Destiny.
development, but ultimately
There's only so
wait
much
for
that can buy
entire
them
overworld
when
to be 100% finished.
Destiny was
I
never
actually
exactly
I
the
just
internet's
handed Geese
darling.
The finalized map, because the only area that's left on the map is more or less mine, but the main roads are already correct, so it's done. It's good.
There's only so much goodwill that
So you're telling me
Bungie could
this-
buy
we
with
might see
Destiny
big
alone
in the next
when
dev
every year people just were like, wow, I hate Destiny. It might be one of the
From
most
here on out, it's all
successful
Geese, okay?
live service games of
Whatever
its
happens,
type,
happens.
but it's from
Maybe
what I've
it's
seen,
worth
it's
heading
also
to
been a
an alien
financial
race. We've had
hit.
a mine, a cave, and we have a alien
And
ruin
because
on
of that alone, you're not buying
this
yourself a whole lot of goodwill with
is
anyone
the
who's
place where you are.
publishing you.
It's actually just mostly right, but a little bottom right of that lake that you was near. It's called.
They have
They
Dishonored.
are Qatar.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that name, please?
No.
Dishonored, Quake. Quake is no longer like a big
Bottom right of the
one,
lake,
but
okay.
Yeah. Good.
Quake's an
Yeah,
OG.
there's a ruin in the area, so you shouldn't miss it.
Actually, you said bottom.
Major Sky, no, we
It's
talked about it.
like- I don't know why I keep doing that.
Really curious about the Doom Dark
Because right,
Age
it kind of depends
game.
on your. Yeah,
Oh,
look at
true.
the screenshot.
I guess southeast.
Yeah, Bungie wanted to make a hero shooter
Right then.
for Destiny. They wanted to make a third-person hero
Oh,
shooter,
yeah.
and I'm just like, no,
So about
no.
there-ish. Right.
Also, keep in mind, I didn't even mention Wolfenstein. Bethesda has Wolfenstein. Bethesda has the Indiana
Probably
Jones game
just-
coming out.
We have a great ongoing 3-month video schedule at the moment, so maybe that will stay consistent. We'll see.
Yeah. Wow, we still have these duplicate MCs. I thought this was fixed. We got 2 Torballs. There should be like
Torball,
another
the
duplicate here, right?
extra
Around the area.
sufficient.
Although they're just not wearing any shoes for reasons.
Yeah, that's I was thinking about that as well. I don't know what the reason for that would be.
The problem is that Bungie right now, they're putting so much of their faith
Goblin War be complete
in Marathon. As someone who played the original Marathon games, you know,
I believe
the
Scott was
the
hoping
2D
to make it work.
shooters,
It's one of those things. Like, it would be really
I
fun.
never
really
would have
interesting if it worked. At the
thought,
same time,
yes,
there's a lot of more pressing
Marathon should
stuff.
be
So
a
nice surprise if
stylized
again, probably don't expect
extraction
it.
shooter.
Right.
right now, with for instance,
Like-
quests going our way for the first time since the
Extraction
start of the
shooters,
project, our goal really is to just.
you're
wrap
not
everything
going to
up.
overtake
There's a lot of
Tarkov.
stuff,
You're not
you know,
going
we talk
to
about, we'd like to do.
compete with the couple
But right now,
good
we're
extraction
focusing
shooters
on
that are
what we
out
need
there.
to do in order to get this into your hands as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not enough demand for an extraction shooter. It's the thing of, once again, I loved Marathon. Marathon as a franchise is not well known enough.
How did you find the
There's not going to be enough crossover with people who know Marathon and play extraction shooters. That is such
Well,
a
ori-
specific group of people
It
that
is a
you're
bit
targeting,
scandalous, I
and
must
it's
say.
not going to be sustainable.
No, it's he was one of the voice actors who helped out with Skywind actually. Yeah, when it came to doing our developer diaries, that is a drop I will not survive. When it came to like the first developer diary, I was looking at people that I knew who could narrate such a video, and I had two people in mind. The first one is Daniel Hodge, who is
Daniel Hodge is great.
just the best Wes Johnson impersonator ever.
Yep.
Like, he does an
Probably
amazing
Wes
job
Johnson.
every
Wes
other
Johnson
person.
knows Daniel
he does
Hodge.
all the
Gorath,
characters.
Hey, Mora, he just does everyone. He's really
I mean,
good.
those were both Wes Johnson, so it kind of makes sense that he can
Yeah.
do it if he can do it
True,
with
yeah.
Wes. But
He does our Emperor as well. He does a great Patrick Stewart.
yeah, but he was a bit too busy at the time to just narrate a 20-minute video. And
Makes
then,
sense. A
Ryan
20-minute
Cooper
video is going
came
to take
my
you over an
mind.
hour to
you're
actually
saying he was
record
second pick.
the voice for different takes.
The best
flubs.
second pick ever.
Yeah. Just got a message from Scott, by the way. It says, Goblin Wars are nice to have, but tricky to do right. So, official answer from the Goblin War man.
I know
Goblin
Scott.
King.
Scott's good. Victus, how you doing, dude? Yeah, I like that. With Sky
this might
Oblivion being
be
the last
It's
showcase for the day, they can go a little longer. They can go a little bit more freeform.
We had a question earlier saying, will it release on Steam? Very, very unlikely that it will release on Steam at release, but there is a possibility that Steam allows us to release maybe sometime in the future after the official release.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
it's definitely
what
one
I
of
had
those,
heard before. I didn't want to say anything
end game goals
until
for
they
us to
did.
have
I
the
didn't
game
want
out
to
on
say
Steam,
anything until
similar
they
to
confirmed
what
it.
Enderal did. But I'm sure that before we can even talk about that, Bethesda will want to have a closer look at what the project is.
Exactly. Bethesda legally,
oh my god,
or Bethesda
working,
for their own
before
sake,
they can,
they
make a
need to
decision
be
on that.
able
So
to test it out. They need to be able to look at it, to play it, to
No, so the
see
problem is the skulls,
how it
like the-
affects their own
the effect
branding.
work on the sword currently.
Yeah, the effect works.
Which is why
not on the sword
Enderal
itself, not
was
on the
later
hilt.
on. Enderal came out on Steam later on because Bethesda was able to see, like, okay, it's been well received. It's been a really good representation of what we're willing to support.
You know, I'll be
Fancy
completely
nickname, welcome
transparent.
on in.
I'm very surprised we went this far with 0 crashes and 0 information.
Exactly.
Good job.
What,
I'm
Pickle
honestly
Juniper,
not.
because
You keep
every
saying the game is
time...
unstable or that you had issues when recording, but
I
for
did.
me, ever since we put like everything, like,
every time
not too long
someone's
ago,
like, hey, why isn't Fallout London on
to
Steam?
let you know
Literally
as well.
because of
Oh
stuff
my God,
like the
oh!
Frontier.
I just saw the visual effect. It goes
it's on
below
your
your feet for some reason.
Especially because in the case of Fallout mods,
testing as we play.
Fallout
We figured
mods
it out.
are using the Fallout
That's
branding.
how
Fallout
it
the
happened.
Frontier,
Transformations of-
Fallout London. Those sound like
Yeah,
more
I don't know.
official
Anyway,
projects.
because of
Those
the
sound
currency of the game, we
like you
have
could get them mixed
put
up with
everything,
something
like all our years of work
similar
into one
to
big
what
boy
Bethesda is
master
making.
file.
There's nothing wrong with London
And
itself.
that
It's literally
came
just a
with
matter
a
of
lot of
until Bethesda can
benefits,
see it
a
for
lot of
itself. Until
improved
Bethesda can
stability.
judge on its
So the
own,
game as
they
it's
wouldn't be
running
able to
now
get
is,
it onto
to me anyway,
Steam.
more
They just
stable
wouldn't
than
be
ever.
able to approve it.
It's
It should only
definitely
get
more
better.
stable than ever, yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that Bethesda hasn't said
The
more
only-
about
very rare
London
thing for me.
yet.
It's more influence
Whereas
between
you look at
Zero
Enderal.
and
Enderal isn't the Elder Scrolls Enderal. It's its own universe. It's its own world. It's not using any of that branding. So
There's
it's a lot
also,
easier for
the
Bethesda to say, like,
new
yeah, we can approve Enderal for
sort
Steam
of
as
issue
opposed
that we
to
have with performance
Fallout
because a lot of
London,
our
where
assets
someone
are currently
on Steam
unpacked, but
who doesn't
with
know
at
the
least a
modding
PC
scene
backed up again, it's
might
just easier to work with
confuse
unpacked
it
assets
for an
versus-
official product. For better or for worse.
Single time we have a merchant, it's not very realistic.
That is
Skyblivion will actually
the
kind of
next-
face a similar
person
challenge
I
in
kill,
that
I'm gonna-
sense, where Skyblivion is, you know, the Elder Scrolls
I'm just gonna do a little jump
Skyblivion.
and TF C1. All right. So
Yep,
this
there's the Umbra effect.
is perfect.
Nice. This is our new double jump feature, guys. If you hold Umbra and jump twice, you'll do a soul jump.
So,
Umbra is probably
James,
one of our coolest
as
weapons in the game, but
someone
this-
who is
these
really
little
enjoying
balls of
Fallout
lights,
London,
they're supposed to,
I did
light up
not
the
like the way that
swords. It's
London
such a
handled some of the PR and the way that they
but only today I
talked
noticed they weren't
about
working in the first place, but now literally during the stream I see that they are working. They're just
Bethesda.
not positioned correctly for some reason. How we broke this?
I also don't like the
sort of
BBC in
fantastic
this
little
situation.
Miracles that hopefully
I wasn't really crazy about the BBC jumping on that, because you know Fallout London was gonna come out in May, and then Bethesda announced, "Hey, by the way, we're releasing the Fallout 4 Next Gen update a week before Fallout London was supposed to release because the show had just come out and because they were trying to go off of that hype." This is Bethesda's game and Bethesda's property. That is well within their own rights, obviously. I understand the Fallout London team being annoyed by that. I very much understand and sympathize with the Fallout London team being annoyed that the Fallout 4 Next Gen update threw a wrench into their plans, changed the release date and everything. However, I don't think they've really bought themselves a lot of goodwill when they went on the BBC to complain about it. It's one thing to complain and be annoyed online. It's another thing to go on TV and say that stuff. Because now you're making it extra public. Now you're putting all that emphasis on it, and that doesn't look great if you're trying to build those connections. Once again, being pissed, I get it, I understand it, and it did change, you know, their plans, it changed the release period and whatnot. It meant extra work for them. It still means extra work for them. That sucks, but making it as public of an issue as they did, I don't think helped them at all.
Where'd he go?
And frankly, I continue to think that they're not putting themselves in a position to foster a positive relationship, because on the Fallout London downgrader, like to downgrade Fallout 4 to the pre-next gen version, when it's done, when it finishes downgrading, it gives you a little message that says Bethesda. Bethesda never changes. And they've used that line multiple times in regards to the delay because of the next-gen version. You're not buying a lot of goodwill. You're not setting yourself up for success with the studio, with those little slights here and there, with those little jabs here and there. Even if it's meant to be in jest, even if it's meant to be like a haha moment, you have to understand how it's going to look to them. When you went on the news and talked about, well, because Bethesda did this, because Bethesda didn't talk to us about this, it's hurting us. It's their product, it's their game. It's not in jest. I don't think it's in jest. I'm saying even if it had been, how's it going to come across to other people?
Oblivion lockpicking, which I just like so much more than Skyrim's. It was really well done by Fallen.
76 is a completely different studio. 76 has been a completely separate studio for years at this point. 76 itself is not really directly affecting what Bethesda, mainline Bethesda is doing for the single player games, for Skyrim, for Starfield, for Elder Scrolls 6 and whatnot.
Where the fuck am I getting shot?
I'm very much not happy with the state of Starfield's paid creations, and I have my critiques, I have my criticisms and my issues with Skyrim's paid creations. I am truly unhappy with how Starfield's have been handled. They should not be allowing work-in-progress creations for sale for Starfield. I think that is unacceptable.
I think I know which one you're talking about, but there's like one thing happening there that if I say it, it kind of spoils it.
Juniper, they have designated PR people for Fallout London.
Yeah.
If you want to build like a good relationship with the studio, you have to keep those things in mind.
We'll just show you.
You don't want to go on the BBC to be like, yeah, this sucks now because Bethesda did this to us.
Areas are not all just go in, kill things. Nothing happens.
You're not building the relationships that you want to with that.
I'm surprised my computer hasn't crashed yet, because I've been getting so many blue screens recently.
Gogo says, I need to go back to 76 though, because I finally started playing the Pit. I finally started playing the Skyline Valley update. I finally started playing the, almost said Jersey Shore, the Atlantic City update. The amount of like new content they've added, like zones and whatnot, has been really impressive. My understanding of how they're handling the creation
we're just gonna go for the
program,
run for cover.
the general understanding that I have seen of the Creation Club program, or of the Creation program, is that
yeah, this is definitely the right one.
Creators pitch an idea, and Bethesda more or less goes, cool, whatever you want to do, we want to support you. I think Bethesda needs to be more stringent. And here's the thing, I think ultimately Bethesda recognizes the greater value in stuff like Bard's College Expansion, because Bethesda put Bard's College Expansion at the start of QuakeCon. I think they realize and understand and appreciate the effort and care and quality put into something like Bard's College Expansion. I just think they should maybe, on the flip side, be a little more critical or a little bit more stringent on what else can be approved for the program.
Most of our
we are better off getting less creations of higher quality for creations than we are getting a lot of low effort ones. Oh, I don't think it's evil, it just feels like they don't entirely understand it. I don't think it's evil, I just don't really care for it. Less evil, more so just
one of the coolest
yeah,
things, because
like you said, it's a little like,
right from
whatever, sure, cool, we're letting you do it.
Yeah, these look excellent. All the potions look absolutely stunning.
Yeah, unfortunately she hasn't been on
They're
the
too
project
loose on what they
for
let in,
a
and I
long
think
time.
the main reason
Her
behind it
efforts
is
are
more so like, cool,
appreciated
alright, you're the mod author,
in the
we
game
want to support you.
forever, and hopefully they'll see this.
I think they should have a higher standard. And I continue to say this until we have a review system in place for creations, until we have proper reviews or proper refunds in place. They especially need to be more stringent. Even with reviews, even with possible refunds, which I know there's a whole legal issue there with the refunds. Ultimately, I do think that, you know, they've worked on supporting the creators. They now need to support the consumer. I love that they're trying to support the mod authors, but they need to take into account of like, hey, there are people in this program taking advantage of the fact that Bethesda's trying to be supportive of mod authors. They need to wake up and realize that some people are taking advantage of that and creating what is frankly really shit low effort content.
Not to give the wrong idea, we've more or less exclusively showed off small dungeons today, but it's also due to time. You know, we can't spend an hour going through the bigger dungeons we have, because it's just not as interesting as showing off the amazing.
The reason there's no refund system, and the reason why a refund system would be tricky, is because it's an in-game currency, and then they'd have to implement a system for, like, you know, removing it. They'd have to develop a system for flat out like removing it from your load order, uninstalling it, so on and so forth.
Time to explore.
Yeah, our dungeons are some.
I agree. I hold them to that standard. Any paid creation I buy, I hold to a much higher standard. I'm with you on that 100%, and I've been on that mindset for every creation that I bought.
Is notoriously known for its bad dungeons. Like the dungeons were very copy paste, and it's
and
a sign
once
of the
again,
times.
you
It's,
have people
a game that came
like
out,
King Gath who understand that and are
17 years ago?
treating this as seriously as developers would. On the other hand, you have
but
some who are putting in,
2006,
once again, very little effort, and it
18 years
shows.
ago, I did it.
I just injected the
Draken, I didn't even buy the Morthal one, but I did buy the lunar
they did what they could with
weapon
what they have.
pack, and
We've
I
seen, some of us have
was
seen the behind the scenes
pissed.
documentary where it's just like one guy doing.
I was
600
really,
dungeons by himself.
really,
having done a couple
really
dungeons,
pissed.
It's, yeah, I don't envy that dude.
Yeah.
That was
The
not a,
reason
not a fun
being
time.
that the lunar weapon pack, whatever the hell it was called, you could not improve the weapons. You could not smith the weapons. When I bought it, there was a bug where one of the weapons didn't even spawn in. The dungeon could barely be called a dungeon. It was just a linear cave with a couple vanilla enemies, and this whole thing cost $6. Not being able to improve the weapons, not being able to create unenchanted versions, not being able to do anything with them, having them be static items that you could never improve, limited their use, limited how long you could use them at all. And for that reason, that felt half completed. It felt half done.
Having said that, for those
If it
who
had
are
been
only
a free mod, I would have been like, that kind of sucks that they didn't include these things, that they didn't add these features. It being a paid mod, I'm like, no, fuck this.
Actual polished games, which we uploaded on Wednesday. Please do check
so,
out on YouTube.
if
Follow us
you
all on
want to see the end of the Fingers of the Mountain Quest, they do have that over on YouTube if you want to watch that in full.
Please switch over to Twitch. Maybe there's some moderators there who can share the link in the chat. We're going to be rating one of our favorite developers, Crafty Tom, who's currently nav meshing the revamped city of Anvil. If I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm just going to
mistaken.
bump up the audio for the ending of
which
this.
will be a very cool sneak peek because you guys have not seen that yet. Also, before I forget, there is still the charity that we're trying to support with this year's Creation Mod Con, Doctors Without Borders. There's a link where you can donate to that cause, which I too hope someone can share in the chat because I am game bound right now. But yeah, having said all that, thank you so much for your supports. Genuinely, without you guys, without the community, we would not be here. So here's to all of you. Here's to a fantastic rest of the year, and here's to releasing in 2025.
I will see. I'll see all of you before that, but I'll see Skyblivion then. I am going to take a quick BRB just to refill my water and all that, but we will likely hop into some Fallout London afterwards. Yeah, I feel like Fallout London. We'll do some Fallout London for the rest of today. Sarah's napping right now, so I'll probably just go for a while, because I'm not sure how long she's gonna be knocked out. But I'll see you guys in just a moment. I'll see you guys in just a second. Fallout London when I return.